Markets back to highs here this morning as we get going on a Friday morning ahead of a key employment report coming up in about 30 minutes. We'll bring you the April NFP number. We are expecting a significant downtick on the month-over-month basis, but still a positive reading overall. We'll talk about that coming up. Obviously, 4.3% as well expected on the unemployment rate. Absolutely no change on a month-over-month basis. Ton of things moving around, including the market itself. Tech specifically back to highs here to start things off this morning, despite some not so positive earnings reports after the close last night. We have CoreWeave to the downside. We have Coinbase to the downside. Net, a bit of a standout. We'll touch on that as well. Coinbase, interesting this morning. There was a AWS outage overnight that affected both the CME futures trading and also Coinbase specifically for some execution. Looks like everything has been restored, but Coin itself, obviously, everyone just focusing on the earnings report. We're back higher off the lows, at least. The initial move last night, if you were with us after 4 o'clock, to the upside, quickly reversed, as many have over the past week or so, and we ended the day back to the downside. Semiconductors, ones to watch here this morning. Broadcom, nice look, big gap to the upside, big uptick in their expectations for the remainder of this year and going into next year. So, I mean, this thing's had a tough week, but good to see a bit of a bounce here. Yeah,
a bit of a red day for the semis yesterday after a very strong day the day prior. You feel like maybe that was a little bit of profit taking there. No real macro weakness for the semi trade quite yet, but CoreWeave coming out yesterday and being quite critical of NVIDIA, saying basically NVIDIA better play catch up and get their act together, so to speak. Otherwise, customers are going to funnel into AMD, which I found to be quite interesting, seeing as how much money they have taken from this company, yet they could speak so freely. Yeah. It was an interesting report there, but CoreWeave down, as you mentioned, Brendo, here to the tune of 8%. There's some positivity, though. A fan favorite, a viewer favorite, especially IREN. We know how much they love that. Almost up 10% over here. MP Materials as well. Monster energy drinks looking good, as well as Rocket Lab and XYZ. Don't look now, but hey, man, 7.5% in Greensville this morning.
Yeah, it was interesting when that came out last night. It did absolutely nothing. Yeah. Just nothing. There was zero reaction. Then out of nowhere, we got this huge pop. So, yeah, great look here for XYZ. The semiconductors in general, as you mentioned, have been a little bit of a challenge so far this week. I mean, what's that saying? Don't bite the hand that feeds you. Exactly. I mean, I think in NVIDIA, though, it's like who don't they feed at this point? So
they've doled out a lot of
CoreWeave at least feels the freedom to go out and, be a little bit harsh. Broadcom, though, as I said, $100 billion going through to 2027, which is a great look for them. But I think just another nugget suggesting how strong that sector and demand is.
What I like specifically about custom ASICs that you don't necessarily see in the other parts of the chip sector is the custom ASICs is made specifically for people or companies who have a lot of money. It's the hyperscalers that are getting custom ASICs because they have a very niche set of workloads that they want to run. I like going after the people with deep pockets because number one, they can pay good margins, and it's typically a little sticky.
I mean, 50+%, I think it was, right across the board, basically for margins again this quarter for most of these guys. So, yeah, doesn't stop. Yeah, NVIDIA right back to basically the highs from yesterday. Got above 214 very briefly, a couple of times during the midday there yesterday, but failed here this morning so far at 214, but lots to watch. Yeah, non-farm payrolls coming up at 8:30. We are expecting, as I mentioned, a significant downtick on the month-over-month number. 62,000 is the consensus. Forecast was around 90, 95, depending on where you look. It was triple digits last month, so we'll bring that to you when it comes at 8:30. But I mean, I guess the first official NFP print here for Kevin Marsh.
This is going to be really interesting, Brendo. I mean, we've been hearing a lot. Okay, so I was watching this show that they have at 5 a.m. now on CNBC. It's called, I forget the name of it, Market Call or Morning Call or whatever. They had
Must be great.
Yeah, exactly, right, if I could remember the name. No, but they had an individual on whose opinion was the market is woefully underpricing the number of rate cuts we're going to get this year just based on the new leadership. The prediction markets completely disagree with this individual. Basically, we're looking at more than 50% of nothing happening the rest of the year. And if you look at it from a practical perspective, think about it. He is only but one vote.
Yeah.
He's going to have to basically elicit all the members around him. Now, on the other side of the coin, we know that it is a chair-centric committee. How does that jive? How do you square that circle? We'll wait and see.
The narrative has been for, I mean, let's be honest, 3 years on the cut side, on the let's bring rates down side. Is there going to be pressure when he walks in the door for them to maintain that narrative and maintain that language in the short term, or are they just going to flip the switch and start talking about, neutral or maybe even, dare I say, going back up? So more to come at 8:30 this morning. We'll bring that to you. As I mentioned, guys, happy Friday. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good for the markets, man.
Friday.
You got Apple was cruising toward all-time highs again. I don't know if
the market's going to be at all-time highs here.
Exactly. NASDAQ there. Tesla's breaking out.
Apple is?
We even talked about. Well, it was up at
291. Yeah.
NVIDIA is still a continuation play. I think the surprises were probably Cloudflare last night, and I mean, I guess even this morning, because it was looking like it was making some kind of a bounce, and still down 16% for them. I don't suppose anybody's surprised by the trade desk being down, but no, this was one that possibly caught a little off guard, I think, in addition to obviously CoreWeave's move as well. But this is we're going to round out the week. Like we're coming off that record insanity, Captain Insano month, and it's like, what are we just doing this again?
Yes.
Is May, sell in May and go away, is going to be as historically wrong as it could be? No, we're just starting things off so incredibly strong.
Well, the thing is, we know that Joe loaded up the account the other day.
Well, there we go.
So we're getting ready to go.
That last 50 cents in, and the markets just cannot.
No, he tripled the holding. He tripled his cash position.
Oh, so $1.50.
Yeah, he went to $1.50 there. So he has to cover the fees.
True.
We talked about that was funny because
when
he mentioned
Canadian, that's only like
that's what I was going to say. You better be trading on Wealth Simple or something. I'm still paying whatever it is, $7.99 or $6.99 a trade, but I don't really trade that often.
Where did this 50-cent thing come from? Or
one day he just said that he was like I think all of us. He was just talking about he was pretty much all in, and he said that he had like a smooth 50 left in the account. And then Shrieff and I were kind of like, what are you going to do with 50 cents? Like if you try to make a trade, you're going to have to pay a commission on it. And that's when we started talking about all that kind of stuff. But then he re-upped a little bit. No, I think cash in the market is, they say timing versus time in, and I mean, if you were in the market in the last couple months, timing hasn't been that important because every day seems like,
baby.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday was finally a little bit of a down day. I mean, you could have took an opportunity to buy some of that. And then right now, today, we get a little bit of opportunity to buy some dips in some stocks as well, as you just mentioned. Cloudflare to the downside, if you like that stock. A great stock that I'm, again, like trying to do something is different than actually doing it. Like, trying to get into an IREN rate here, like, they're just popping right now, up 11%. Like, and this is what I'm talking about, buying companies that you kind of believe in this power game here. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 or 8 days straight upside, bouncing smooth off the 50-pair moving average. Like this, like I'm thinking about trying to get in now. It was $40 2 weeks ago, now it's $65 and going higher right now. So, and then we had Corning with a deal with NVIDIA the other day as well. And, that name can't really slow down. I mean, although it, didn't bump up the way IREN seems to be doing it, but there's Corning trying to go through. So, this NVIDIA, this sort of revolution that we're seeing with AI just seems to have a lot of legs to it. And there's so many different pieces. We talked about the constellation, all the power places, GE Vernova, IREN's the story here today, and Corning was a story the other couple days there as NVIDIA looks to build partnerships with them as well. So it's all going upside right now. And you've seen, I think wasn't Intel up today too, I believe. So, there's lots going on. There's NVIDIA up 1%. And then the best part about today is in just a matter of 20 minutes, we're going to see it all fall down. No, we're going to see this jobs report come out, and that will give us a good idea of what maybe we can.
Hopefully.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully, nothing major happens, but we can get an idea if the Fed's going to be behind us or in front of us here. Like, is there going to be a rate cut environment, or do we have a pause until 28, as Adair mentioned yesterday?
That's a rather long pause.
Yeah. So
if we do have that, but. Ooh, JK on the hell.
Yeah, I like the Happy Mother's Day there. He's
you know what? Yeah. I love this report.
We're doing brunch tomorrow. Uh-oh.
Okay, the thing happened, but we don't see it. So we'll just Try it again. No. All right. Oh, there it is. Okay. JK, happy Mother's Day, Mom's Day weekend report. Yeah. Still short MSTR in the Qs. I can't see many people wanting to hold into this weekend.
Why not?
Why not? The market's strong, baby. But you know what? Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Obviously, it's a very important weekend where everyone gets the good feels. You said you're doing.
We're doing it tomorrow because we're just so busy. We have we have zero time on Sunday. It's like we wake up and we're busy, and even tomorrow, Gia umpires T-ball tomorrow at 1. Baby. So we're trying to do our brunch around 10 o'clock, and Baxter's coming from Waterloo, so it should be exciting, and we're really excited to have all that.
We're hooking up. We're doing it Sunday, but
yeah, that's what
tomorrow going to a game with one of our buddies, and. With the schedule. Remember I told you I was actually sad yesterday because
about the Jays?
The baseball schedule. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Our baseball schedule for my daughter's team. They released it and like, why are we not playing next week? Because the season was supposed to start on Monday, and I guess it was like they just screwed up, and then they've added a bunch of games back in. So we do start the season next Monday. Looking forward to that.
Like Monday, like in 4 days, like this.
Yeah, this.
Oh, nice. Okay, good.
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be, but. Hopefully the weather gets a little bit warmer.
I just don't like that it's raining. Like I could actually take the coldness. I mean, we don't like that, but it's the wet, it's the damp. I don't know. It's like
I just want to see the sun.
Can't get over it.
Maybe 20 degrees.
Throat is still,
all weather.
Well, 20 degrees.
That's what it's all about.
Now you're asking for a lot, man.
I don't think I'm asking for much. Well, I think we have a better chance of seeing 20 degrees than. Oh, I can't say the trade desk holding. Yeah, well, actually, the trade desk did hold the $20 level. Look at that. So I was going to say you have a better chance of that than the trade desk holding. But it is holding. Why not? I think that's what it's all about. Sometimes you can get these things and they're just so bad. If it does, what's the rule? If it doesn't break the low, there's only one place to go. That's a 52-week low. Maybe this can even catch a bid today. Everything's feeling good. Open Door reported and did absolutely nothing.
That was a pretty good rhyme you had there.
What did I say?
I don't know. It just flowed pretty good there. I wish I could rewind.
I'm so old that I can't remember what I said 5 seconds ago. Oh, no, but Open Door was incredibly, let's see. Yeah, that's...
Open Door?
Boring, useless.
0.18? We're talking about a stock?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's like, okay, well, you have this potential squeeze and all that stuff, and then we were talking about how the other stock from Eric is doing so incredibly well. Not a very good day yesterday for HUT. That's not the best example here. Daily chart. There you go. So much better. There's your squeeze play. And don't freak out if you're a shareholder of Carvana. You didn't lose any money. It's just an $80 stock now. That's all.
Yeah, people are going to look over like, I have so many more shares. What happened?
They did 1 for 5.
Oh, you know, a sad story here. Not sad, but a game story. Nintendo, I heard today, increasing their price of the Switch to 2. It has not been selling that well, and component prices are going much like, look, this is Nintendo. I mean, you know, component prices getting higher on that Switch, and even it's funny because I got my PS5 on Facebook Marketplace. I think it was maybe 2 years ago. Prices of PS5s have gone up, and PS5 was released like 10 years ago, and it's almost just as expensive today as it was when they first released it because of the prices of the components there, right? And so it's like all of a sudden the memory that it has in there, the storage is now, you know, 5-6 times the price it was. All right, what's up, Nick Dub? Had a big winner on INOD. I don't know what that is. Continuing to hold large short float. Okay, large short float. Large short float, but yet terrific earnings. Well, that's a recipe for a blast. So we can check that stock out. Yeah, exactly. NVIDIA and Corning. I mean, I think that was a big deal. That was a partnership that was announced a couple days ago. You did see the reaction in that. Okay,
I know.
Randy is here.
Oh, we got a plate of something.
It's quesadillas I saw today.
Chicken
yes, it is
quesadillas.
What? Is there any sour cream over there?
Salsa? Oh, well, that's.
What? There isn't?
They don't have any.
There's no salsa?
You can't eat it. Okay.
I don't know. I think there probably.
No, it's fine.
I think there probably is. The way he was looking at me there, I think he was like, "Oh man, I think he's gonna come back."
Don't you always have salsa with a quesadilla?
I believe there is. These guys are legit. But there it is, man. I actually cheated and looked there, so I sort of knew it was quesadillas today. So yeah, they were actually pretty good, really good last time. So We'll see. Yeah, Randy's here on a Friday. Yeah, you guys are right. Christmas 10/00/23.
It's because the market's
What's Randy doing here? Is he?
Everyone's in a good mood.
No, I really think he just messed up the day. He's probably not. Oh man. All right, 8:15. Yeah, look, jobs coming. So the only name I have written down on here is Tesla right now because I do like the breakout that we've seen through 400. We talked about that yesterday. We traded it pretty much all day yesterday, and we're going to trade it today for sure. So Tesla continues to go higher, but it's almost irresponsible a little bit to write down some levels for me now, anyways, because of the names I want to trade. I want to trade the market today. I want to trade maybe a little bit of NVIDIA. The Apple's an interesting one. IBIT here off of 80,000, but just with the jobs report coming, that's all. I have some trade ideas written down and stuff that we like. I just really wish IREN was coming down because I want to get that one. Oh, and then ARM yesterday was another name, that some of these names just keep on working. And you look at it and you don't ever want to pay the top. But imagine if you paid the top of SanDisk when it was like $300 and you were thinking to yourself, oh man, now it's $350 today. I don't want to buy $350. And then the very next day it was $375. And you said to yourself, I don't want to buy $375. And then the very next day it was $600 and you didn't want to buy that. And then there's $800 there and then it dips down. Anyways, so long story short, there's never a bad time to get a little bit of money into stocks that you like. So we're going to wait. 14 minutes, non-farm payrolls. Should be a good one. Expecting plus 65,000. We should be able to get a good read on that. And then we'll see what Kevin Warsh, what kind of power he has with the Fed and with this number coming through. So I'm excited for it. We didn't even, there it is. You have that chart.
Yeah, 17% short float, probably the biggest mover on the day. I mean, it's not going to be the highest volume name. So it definitely falls into the the smaller gapper kind of realm. 600,000 shares involved. Big break into resistance here at that $70 level. But you know what? It's already flying. Absolutely flying. And that's the thing. Like you get a decent sized short float. We always talk about if it has a 10 to 15 or better % short float, you always want to look at the days to cover too. You get an idea of liquidity. You get a beat, and then all of a sudden there's more explosion because the shorts, which probably been winning since October, you got to look for that exit, and they've been doing that here. The first candle, that's just the aftermarket. It's not like I had a big day yesterday. That was a huge move in the aftermarket last night. Continuation for INOD. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fun to be had today with this market. There's so many movers. You don't want to forget. There's a lot of earnings names today. There's a lot of gappers and things that are going to be in play, but you probably don't want to forget the things that have been, generally. If you're a memory chip trader and you've been on like Micron and SanDisk, they're very much in play as well. Like big time recovery, all down, all day, and then today it's like nothing happened. You're right back to where we were. Like look at the pre-market yesterday on SNDK. Look at the pre-market now. It's almost identical. It's eerily identical. Like bounce from the same spot. Effectively the same high. It's almost eerie. It's like the sell-off didn't even happen yesterday in that stock, and we're just primed to do what it has been doing for quite some time. Gotta tell you, these are absolutely tasty.
Yeah, it's good.
You guys are gonna enjoy these quesadillas. It doesn't, and because they actually have
so
a flavor, you don't even need any salsa.
I think there is some salsa inside of it. Yeah, so that's probably that's how they solve that one. But simple stuff. That's the best part about it. So. All right, let's go back over the desk. That was quite a bit of rambling there, so we're happy with that. Yeah, we're happy with that. Let's go back over to the desk and talk more about these earnings and what to expect here with 8:30 just around the corner.
I see you, Darwin.
Ooh, Darwin, what's up?
Didn't move on this, but BlackBerry with an announcement, at least, renewed buyback up to 26.8 million shares, or about 4.5% of their public float. That's going to run from May 12th through to May 11th of next year. So an entire year, they're going to be buying up 4.5% of their public float. So BlackBerry back at the highs from where it was yesterday, essentially here. If anyone's tracking that one, it's been a bit of a mover over the past little while here. If you zoom out on that one, not as nice to look at. Once you get back into below 6, I mean, you might find 580, 575 again. But yeah, huge move for BB along with some of those other squeeze type names. You were mentioning Carvana earlier. I mean, another one in that same boat.
It's really interesting. They split, obviously, so it's going to make it nicer to trade. We'll probably be mentioning it a lot more on the show. But what I did find super interesting last time from their report, which wasn't that long ago, is essentially that they're basically selling off a lot of their higher interest loans that they issued during the higher rate cycle. And they're making a lot of money on those. So it's almost like as if they're just sort of a secondary, maybe a little bit off Main Street lender that just happens to sell cars. And it's a high margin business for them at that. And I was looking a little bit into this because I follow a lot of the delinquencies, whether it comes to car payments or credit cards, just to kind of gauge the consumer. And they actually have very low delinquencies, relatively speaking, when you look at these when you make comparisons to subprime, other subprime lenders. So interesting take from them. That should be good for cash flow as well. But, as an intraday trade, who can complain with a bit of a cheaper price? Take more shares.
Flying, yeah. NVIDIA back to the upside here as well this morning, as we said. We were talking a little bit yesterday about this trip to China incoming and all these CEOs that are going to jump on the plane with President Trump. Very
strategic.
I mean, it reminded me of, I mentioned this to Adair last night, it reminded me of the tour they did through the Middle East for the tech side of things, and all the tech CEOs came along with and did some deals on the side, for themselves as well. But showing force, I guess, from a technology standpoint.
It'd be interesting to see if she brings along some major CEOs from his companies, like the Alibaba, the Tencents, the Baidus, see if they can collaborate somehow. I'm assuming that, that this is more of a sales pitch that Donald Trump is kind of trying to work over there. I'm a little bit less interested in that angle of things and more interested in, some sort of permanent deal. Now, these CEOs could possibly make up some of that as, that they could be striking deals on their own. Specifically to me, right away, what stands out is Boeing and Apple. Yeah. I know that Jane Fraser and other, CEOs, financial CEOs are going to be heading over there as well. But those are the two that I feel like have the most exposure to China. China needs a lot of airplanes. We know that. There's a lot of backlog there with Boeing. And then Apple, I mean, kind of footprint that they have in China. So.
And how important it is for the company itself. I mean, Boeing wasn't it last week we were talking about, they just did another deal or another order for one of the airlines in China as well. Crypto back downside here this morning. It's worth talking about Coin maybe a little bit. Not great. I mean, 2 quarters in a row were red for the earnings side of things for Coin. The trading volume number, a lot of people focusing on here this morning.
Listen to this, Brendo. 90% of all the global on-chain agentic transaction volumes is now happening on Coinbase's network. So I know that they're down, but I do like them taking this approach to try to differentiate themselves, create a bit of a niche. We've been talking a lot about these agent-only marketplaces where agents go on, conduct commerce together, devoid of any human intervention. And Coinbase is kind
allegedly.
I know, right? Allegedly, we'll see. But if you believe that angle, if you believe that report, then I like how they're kind of creating a bit of a niche for themselves here, at least from what I've seen, the first to do it in the crypto space.
Yeah, after the run-up 2 weeks ago, we've come back in, giving back basically 50% of that, but still. Key levels in this area to consider once again this morning. Again, if you missed it, there was it's a minor story at best. There was an AWS outage overnight that affected both CME and Coinbase. Their execution network was down for a period of time overnight, but I mean, it seems like everything has been restored. So Amazon up a little bit.
I want to bring back, the Boeing angle again. Did you see Prime Minister Carney announce that I guess maybe 200 some odd 50 to 30 some odd airplanes by Airbus can be made in Canada, right? Montreal, Mirabel, the airport there.
Right.
But no ownership stake by Canada at all in Airbus. Just nice from the kind of the jobs angle. I found that to be a little peculiar.
So we'll probably still see them 30 years from now, and then they'll have all kinds of issues and have to go back for 3 rounds of repairs before they actually get going. I mean,
I just had to bring that angle up because we were talking about Boeing.
Yeah, I mean, those two always go back and forth. But I mean, Boeing itself has been a little bit better over the past couple of days here. If you zoom out on Boeing, we've been still stuck in a bit of a range, but I mean, doing better overall since the original sell-off.
Yeah, and I'm really interested to see what kind of deals he's able to strike, Kelly Ortberg, because we know the Chinese really want to expand their national flight systems, and a lot of their planes, number one, need parts. They're aging, and there's been sort of, kind of this not giving them the parts they need as part of the trade negotiations, obviously, and then they need new airplanes. Let's just be honest about it. So it should be interesting to see how quickly Boeing can get them to China and how quickly or how much, pardon me, China wants to order.
It seems at this point, I mean, it's almost safe to say Jensen spends more time in China than anyone else in that group that's going to go. So maybe he knows a little bit more than anyone at this point. But yeah, it's going to be interesting what comes from this back and forth for Xi and China, guys. Lots of individual names going to be affected with that.
Yeah, well, it's good to be talking about these trade deals as opposed to the alternative where we're just solely focused on the conflict in the Middle East, the war in the Middle East every single day. Look, Boeing in bull markets, typically speaking, especially when the U.S. market's in a bull market, but in a general sense, when you're in a bull market, historically, it's like Boeing ends up being better than Airbus, and it feels like that turn is starting to happen again. I don't worry too much about the backlog. They both have really, really long backlogs. Okay, Boeing's slightly longer there, but they're making some headways with that regard, but they're both it's like 10 and 12 years or something along those lines. It is what it is. But the orders are coming through, and you start to think about how long this has been holding down and the amount of work that it has to do. I'm going higher time frame here. And the work that it still has to do for Boeing, I just look at this ridiculously long consolidation. It's about time for it to break and test this 260. But this is going from 2020, right? From the 2020 lows, you've been holding a very long consolidation, and the higher lows are coming in. This is primed to go. On Boeing, and it does require some patience with it because I think it's got that next 10% break from 240 to 260. But this has got a big move in it, probably sometime in either looking back half of next year or maybe looking into early 2027, and then from there, I don't want to use some kind of ridiculous smooth sailing or like blue skies because it's Boeing, but pretty much you give up 260 and you're gonna have that blue sky set up. We do have our.
I don't think we should go to Joe right now.
What's up?
Only because we have 2 minutes until the number. So it's not gonna take long. Okay, let's go to Joe quickly. Then options.
All right, guys, what's going on? Let's take a look at some of the options activity here on yesterday's session. We're going to kick things off with Apple at that $295 marker, hitting all-time highs yesterday. One thing that I want us to point out is the volume, 135,000 contracts, open and closed at that level. Typically, Delta relatively cool here, guys, within Apple's contracting. And then also, you can see on the specific contract itself, had a high of $1 throughout the session and then tanked down to $11. Moving forward, we're going to take a look at IBIT. I wanted to bring us this number. $47 strike price. You can see that we had a high on Wednesday at $46.97, so only pennies away. The open interest is substantial here, guys. In regards to Bitcoin, 31,500 contracts at that specific level. The value of them, relatively cool, and then the delta metric, cool as well. Let's send it back to Neil and Sean.
All right, we'll get you teed up here. We still have about 90 seconds to go, but we'll get you teed up here on what's to come. With April non-farm payrolls, here's what's came last time, 178,000 on the prior print for March. We are expecting just 62,000. That's a consensus number. 95 was the forecast. This line could be interesting, 4.3% right across the board here. 4.3 was the prior, 4.3 the consensus estimate, and 4.3 the forecast as well. It's also worth jumping down here. Non-farm payrolls on the private side of things expected, or the prior was 186,000, 75,000 was the consensus, and 83K the actual number that people are forecasting here. Just real quick, the overall forecast up 2 months in a row, but we get a downtick today, potentially get a downtick today. As long as it's still green, I'm sure this is fine.
Yeah, I think if it just comes better than expectations, it beats, I think we'll probably, the market's already priced in a lower number, Brendo, so yeah, as long as we meet expectations, I think we should be pretty good.
Yeah, about 30 seconds here. Participation rate, notably, Prior was 61.9%, 61.7%. That's just overall how many people are in the labor market. They judge that, I believe, by actual registrations for employment insurance. The manufacturing payrolls number to come as well. The prior 15K, 8K, the forecast there. We'll bring all those to you here in about 10 seconds. The most important one, again, watch this, 4.3%. That could be, my page is refreshing already. That could be the most important one that we get here this morning for this number. 115,000, so higher than expected. Again, 65 was the expectations, comes out 115,000, just hearing in my ear. That hasn't populated yet, but again, 115,000. 4.3%, the unemployment rate for April, exactly where it was expected to come through. Manufacturing payrolls also in line with expectations there. 8K, non-farm 83K, so everything, guys, exactly as expected. It's worth noting, again, Michigan consumer sentiment as well coming up at 10 o'clock. We actually got Canadian unemployment rate number there as well. That's kind of ugly. 6.9% for Canadian unemployment rate. A forecast was 6.7%, the prior 6.7% as well. Again, U.S. non-farm payrolls, 115,000, the forecast 65, prior 178. So significant downtick, but still, as we said, where it should be.
And Canada continues to bleed jobs as well, losing 17,700 jobs. That's from the month of April. So a bit of a downtick there for the Canadian economy, Brendo. So a bit of a tough one there, but good luck for the American side.
Meanwhile, the market is yawning and continuing to all-time highs.
I took the trade through just because of what Brendan just said there to see if we can get higher there, but nothing really happened. So I'm still holding out. Took out half for 10 cents, trying to give it back to 73. So if we break, we're going to get out. I just was, seeing if we could get running there. But yeah, it looks like it's going to break down to lower. So yeah, nothing really going on there. I was hoping for a much bigger number there, but 65 was expected. They got 115. So I don't think there's any reason to be cutting anytime soon. So I think this market could possibly fall back in on that. But yeah, I would say it's, as Brendan said, probably nothing to worry about unless we got a red number there. We don't get that. Canada, a completely different beast, obviously. As you look forward to, it was 6.2. Where are we? 4.3 right here. So we'll see.
No, the 6.9.
Oh, 6.9 here, 4.3 down there. Yeah.
It basically is 7% unemployment in Canada. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Well, we added a lot of people with not a lot of jobs.
Fine.
So
it's absolutely fine. There's nothing to see here. The Canadian economy is doing absolutely fantastic. We have tons of resources and have managed to bungle that away. We got water, we got land, we got oil, we got everything you want, except for a strongly functioning economy.
Well, when we become
but at least we can invest in American stocks.
Well, we can become the 51st state, and then we just use those numbers instead, and it's all fine, right? So it's all good. U.S. non-farm payrolls for April revision, too. So there's a revision. April's non-farm payrolls for April revised prior 178 to 185, so they went higher on the April number as well. So yeah, it looks like jobs are kicking there. President will be happy with that. Probably gonna there. I'm at 16s as well to get a little piece out. There it is. He's probably gonna speak on that today, so that should be good. And then the reason why I brought up SNDK, we did have a super chat about Marvell there, but like this was $1,300 yesterday. It's $1,400 today. This is just like what's going on in this space as we keep on hearing. I mean, a lot of these names, IREN pushing it out, right? CoreWeave pushing it out. Like, a lot of these names continue to push out the demand, right? And it's just like, okay, if they have all these back orders and the demand for these data centers continues to be high, then yeah, parts are going to keep going higher. So Marvell, we talked about photonics and what's involved with Marvell and the custom ASICs. I mean, we talk about that a lot on the show. That continues to go higher. Micron continues to go higher. It's going to be a good day here in the market, it feels like. The NASDAQ already up that 1%. Hey, man, it did slow down yesterday. It was down just a hair, and today we're up just a little bit more as well. So we'll hold long in these futures for now and see where it goes. But we have Michael Noss coming. So.
Yes, sir. We have Michael, our good friend, is locked and loaded. I know he'll be in a good mood because the market goes up. That makes everybody happy.
I feel like Michael's always in a pretty good mood.
Always, yeah. Well, he comes on Fridays. It's hard not to.
Comes on Fridays and Mondays. He bookends the week. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah, why not?
All right, good to have you, Michael. And let's throw them over to the guys and see what the topics are today.
Looked at that email and said exactly the same thing I did. That's okay. Let's bring in Michael Knotts here to talk about May, markets in May, and what the hell should we do? The old adage, sell in May, go away, I don't think that applies anymore, it seems like. Anyways, we just go higher and higher, Mr. Knotts. Happy Friday.
Yeah, maybe no adages apply anymore, right? People losing jobs, good. People not losing jobs, also good. But watch us grind to new highs here. But everyone's heard the sell in May, go away. I think it's like every now and then your uncle or something like that talks about this. And I just thought I would go and try to figure out where it came from, run the data, see if there's anything we actually have to worry about here with, my friend Perplexity. That's why we're all fancy. We got a lot of data here to go through. And we'll take a look and see, is there any adage to this, or is there any merit to this at all, or is it, just something people say for the sake of saying? I was talking to a trader buddy, and he was just saying the same thing. It's like, hey, we're up so much. This summertime is historically weak, or so we hear. Maybe we should take some profits here. So let's see if that's the case. So the first chart is, if you go back all the way until the year 2000 to 2025, and you look at May to October as a group, and then you look at November to April as a group, you do make a little bit less if you're holding from that May to October. I think it's Jeff Hirsch who does a Stock Traders Almanac, says buy in October and get yourself sober. That's more of a funnier one. But the idea is that in both cases, you're making money because the market goes up most of the time, right? Put your finger on a daily candle on the chart on the S&P 500, 75% chance you're up 1 year from wherever you've picked. And, a little bit less could be a time to maybe pull in. But if we dive deeper into the data, I think this tells us a little bit more. So the next chart here is a little bit messy, but this is me just breaking it out by every year and saying, the green is the November to April, and then the May is that kind of sell in May and buy in October. And we kind of see that, yes, in the beginning, there was some problems, and potentially where actually this saying came from. Because if you look around the beginning of the chart, that's your year 2000, that's your .com collapse, and then that really bad one from May to October, that is 2008, 2009. So it could be one of these things that the headline data shows you one thing, but when you dive in, it's really just skewed by this two bear markets that just coincidentally seem to happen around the same time. So the next chart, I think, highlights this a little bit cleaner, and it just shows if you look at that 2000 to 2010, which is our first cluster, we are actually negative for that period of time, so maybe that's where people started saying it. And then as you get closer to now, the middle cluster is 2011 to 2020, and then the next one is 2021 to date, and you can see it starts to even out as time goes on. So there was a potential edge there, weighted by that big kind of collapse, and then we push higher. Now, in this last or second to last chart, this is the one that's most interesting to me if you're a long-term holder. So if you try to time the market, yeah, if you go all the way back, you do a little bit better. Yep. Just break this down. The green line, again, it's just an equi curve of you just buy for that period of time, and then you sell in May, and you go away, and you come back in October. You can see you skipped some of the worst of it way, way back. The red line is the other side of it, and then the white line is just if you kind of held overall, and you make double the returns, even if it comes to sell in May, go away. But there's one thing I wanted to dive into a little bit more with the last couple of charts here, and this is just talking about what I've been talking about since the beginning of the year, which has to do with the midterms. And the midterms are coming, and the whole time I've been saying, be a little bit careful. Maybe this year is not the case, but generally speaking, midterm election years are a little bit choppy. And we are having, a huge rally now, but if you look at the year-to-date number, we're up like 7% year-to-date. It would be not the craziest thing in the world with what we're seeing in the market to potentially give some of that back and get back to flat before the end of the year. So this particular chart is just the seasonality of midterm years during these two periods. Again, with the red being this May to October, and then the green being November to April. And you can see even in the more recent years, right, 2022, 2018, 2014, there was a little bit more of a problem in these midterm years. So there is a whole seasonality thing that could potentially be going on where if you don't know who's going to win the election, you get this kind of back and forth chop and slop while they figure out who's going to be making the laws and running the country, and then off to the races after that. So the last chart is just kind of a summary of those as well. So if you look at midterm years in particular, sell in May, go away seems to work. And then a huge kind of rip at the end of the year. And then all other years, it's kind of, at this point, for the most recent ones, about 50-50. So if you pull those midterm years out. So very interesting to kind of look at that potentially. Again, these are averages and broad numbers, so they're not reflective of what's going on right now in the market. But it could be one of those choppier type summers if the seasonality holds true. And again, as I keep looking down, the market's hitting all-time highs. So maybe none of this matters, but it is something to look at, maybe specifically for this year, but not really for all years anymore.
Conclusion, buy stocks, hold stocks, never sell stocks, and everything will be fine, correct?
Well, as we're talking, it's ripping to new all-time highs. So,
I mean, three of the 4 charts we just looked at said just essentially buy stocks.
Well, it's, if you're going to bet that the smartest people in the world are going to continue to figure out how to make a whole bunch of money, then eventually you buy stocks and you kind of weather it out, right? It's, if you think guys like Elon are going to keep popping up and doing crazy stuff and they're going to want to make a whole bunch of money and be richer than the next guy, eventually this all goes up. It's what we're trying to do here is just maybe time things a little bit when to. I'm looking for an excuse at this point. Like, this year's been amazing. I kind of want to just go to cash and take a nap, but
Same.
I'd be crazy too.
Yeah, I mean, the timing of this move in the market is perfect right now as well, as we're just absolutely ripping to all-time highs here on the NASDAQ specifically. So, Mr. Noss, have a great weekend. Get some sleep. We'll catch you on Monday.
All right. Have a good one, guys.
Fantastic stuff, as always, by Michael Noss. All right, guys, let's take a look at some of the analyst actions here this morning. We're going to kick things off with Nike getting a downgrade, guys, going from an overweight to an equal weight, but also reducing the price target from $55 to $45 by Wells Fargo. Coinbase down 3 1/3 here, guys. Price target reduction by Needham going from $230 to $220. You're down slightly here this morning. Qualcomm positive, but getting the downgrade, going from a buy to a hold rating by DZ Bank, but with a price target of $195. You're up just a little bit less than 6%. Now the trade desk continuing its slide here, guys, down 13%, going from an overperform to sector perform by KeyBank. You're down 13% once again. Now moving forward, taking a look at some more of the positive things. Upgrades, we're getting McDonald's is getting the nod here. CFRA giving them the okay, going from a buy to a hold. You're up a little bit less than 0.25%. Fastly also on the radar as well too, guys. You're up 1% here, going from market perform to outperform with a $23 price target. Rocket Lab more than 8% here this morning. Hold to buy, $68 initial target being raised to $98 by Craig Hallam. And then Airbnb down 1/3% here, guys. Price target increase from $130 to $140 with a neutral weight rating by JP Morgan. Let's send it back to Neil and Sean.
I mean, when we last left you, Brendan was mentioning the NASDAQ.
Or all-time high.
There it is, man. So we're already cooking right now. I mean, there's that break right there. As we go to the upside, we still have half of this position, exactly half of this position on. Right there as we continue to go higher. I'm just gonna, we've seen so many times here in the pre-market where we've had news, we've had numbers, and it has pulled back into sort of pre-number levels by the time we open up. So we're gonna get out a half and then see if we can let the rest ride. As the NASDAQ again, like up 1% here, can we continue to climb higher? Yes, we can, I feel like. And there's nothing really, there it is, there's nothing stopping us. We're all the way up. So we keep on going here, and Tesla, some of these other names, man. I mean, we've sort of, thanks Michael for all that review there. But it's what Brendan said there, and I think Michael nailed it as well. Like, there's a lot of smart people running the show here. One of which I guess would be Elon, and there goes Tesla right there, back up to the upside again. Now up 1.5%, looking to take out that magical 420 marker. Now after just being at 348 a month ago, not even a month ago. So, another name that just keeps on pumping to the north side right now. Alex Karp is trying to get his stock going too, up through 137 right now. And then, the names like CoreWeave trying to battle back from their downside yesterday. It was 118 pre-market, now 120. IREN, the last time I looked at it was 64 or something like that. Yeah, there it is. Now 65 and going higher.
I'm surprised by one here.
The whole market.
I'm surprised that Alphabet's not through 400 right now.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You know, we've broken through yesterday morning's tops, right? So when you think about the NASDAQ, you know, we were basically the morning highs, and we've now broken it out. And you got Alphabet here. Languishing is not the right word, but it's lagging is the better way to think about it. Like, we fell apart at the $400 level. That hasn't really gone. But on the upgrade downgrade list, Rocket Lab with a strong report. Let's go with 15 here, because Rocket Lab has got to be on some radars today. It's got a pretty big clear out level here at 86.7 on Rocket Lab. Only 9% up. The stock has done much more than that in the past on earnings. But this is one of those very clear, hey, it's got a big breakout level. The market is rallying going into the open. It turned around there in the aftermarket. We've already got a double top. You know, you need to break this out in the open market. If it can, it actually ends up like some kind of a reversal play, because resistance is resistance. But that's got to be on the radar for sure. I can't get over Nike and I love the logo, Joe. Pretty sure that's not the official logo, but it's a fun-looking one. Nike on the downgrade side, you want to think that maybe this is the bottom. But as we learned with Trade Desk and all this and all these other really, really bad stocks, bad trending stocks, Wendy's would be a good example as well, they reported. It's like, prove it. Prove that you can break out. It's one thing to hold the low. It's another thing to break out some levels, get that 50 period back. But another chance here, because Nike's made double bottoms before and it's meant absolutely nothing. But hey, it's got a double bottom on the daily chart, so it has another chance to get going here and possibly get a positive start for them. But anyone that's been trying to pick that on the bottom has been badly burned, probably time and time again. Or at least Rocket Labs looks like Rocket Labs is going to be a play for sure. I'm a little disappointed by Google. And NVIDIA, I still like NVIDIA today. It's on the list along with Tesla and silver, which is going. But I thought maybe with that futures move, you would have also busted through yesterday's high. So still going to have to look for the consolidation, dip buy areas and VWAP into a potential break for NVIDIA, as that does not take out the top just yet. But there's so much in play today. We have a lot to cover. I actually haven't seen a lot of small cappers popping off, or maybe there are and you guys just aren't talking about them. Or I'm not looking.
INOD, I think.
Never mind, actually, because, INOD, we got a super chat about INOD. There's this one here, AIIO, Mask is in there. So I just threw it with the visualizer. Qualcomm, big time. Qualcomm had monster volatility yesterday. Probably the biggest move back and forth on any in the chip space. You got Tesla, of course, right here. Hey, Planet Fitness is going to be in there. Marvell, I see Micron, Qs, all things we expect. D-Pro and UFO. In there. So you remember, it's $ and those tickers. So if we were just talking about Rocket Lab, which I would have expected Rocket Lab to make that list. $, Rocket Lab, and then you'll have these names start to come in. You can see RKLB in the red. And there it is. We got a super chat about Marvell, which I also see on the visualizer here. I don't know why it says 0 on the price. Obviously, Marvell's moving. I don't know. I'm looking at longs today. I haven't specifically considered Marvell. Marvell was not strong yesterday. Marvell and ARM have had very eerily similar charts on a lot of days. And I think that was a bit of the case yesterday as well. But what do we got here? Yeah, held a good 160 support. It's a bit of a head and shoulders look for Marvell. And so when you look at this theoretical shoulder here at 180 or 168, there's some room to get there, at least for now. You can break that, maybe get into this level. Then there's like a top-heavy 175 double top. But if you're worrying about that one, then who cares? It's a good consolidative level, so there's probably lots of outs. You can look at this 162.5 where you had resistance to support, and that can give a bit of a base. At least you know where you'd be wrong on Marvell. Seems as good a chart as any. I'm still probably more focused on NVIDIA and Intel, just out of familiarity and liking the levels last couple of days. But yeah, Marvell obviously has been a good one. I think it would have done better. When ARM pulled back and the market had that ridiculous uptrend in oil, yesterday was the kind of day when you're at the highs, it kind of just all came together for a lot of stocks to start seeing a bunch of profit taking. So I don't want to read into it too much, because it was just one day and then we're right back at all-time highs. Sometimes you just get that. It's like a blow-off top for a half a day, and then we just kind of go back to normal.
And as we said, here comes the NASDAQ right back down. I said that, often you'll get, and that's exactly what I'm writing down on the note right here. You'll get pullbacks, into exactly where we were pre-number. So we're getting into that level right now. Watch out for your 50-period moving average. We're going to stop out of this TQ trade if it does break back down below the 73. Just don't want to be part of it if it's going to break back through VWAP. So what was a good move up there on 115 versus 65? That's the 1,000 marker there for jobs report. You do see the NASDAQ pulling back in right now, just at probably a buy zone, right? $73 right here on the TQs into your 25-period moving average. Watching out for VWAP. Let's see if it winds up holding. But yeah, man, just keep on going, in your accounts. I think you can't go wrong picking a lot of these stocks that we're talking about. And we do have the watch list. You can go get that in link in description. Make sure you find that. We're going to go through the rundown very, very soon. But yeah, Coinbase maybe. I mean, other than that, Meta, I'm seeing Meta flashing.
DraftKings just went all the way back to the highs.
I was going to say DraftKings with a good report yesterday. I was thinking about adding that on here. Meta's not doing anything except for heading lower right now. Meta flat on the day with the NASDAQ being up 1%. So that's not a great sign for King Meta over here either. But we'll wait to see if this one has its juice back into it. Wow, they actually got 680 down to 600. Yeah, that's right. That was not a great report last week and came right into some levels, but it looks like it's trying to hold. Oh, yeah. And did PayPal wind up hold? Yeah, so PayPal's still on that downgrade yesterday. It's a very interesting name. I was looking. I'm still in this name on my account as well. Actually looking to think about getting some more in PayPal. We did have a good report. There's the futures right back in. So now this position for me is flat. So it's a good thing we took some out.
Firm's flat.
On the high side there as well. And then, yeah, Block, I was going to say. I actually have an order to get out of all my Block shares today. I think it's right around here. So hopefully once the market opens up, we'll be able to get out of our Block shares. And the reason why is I've been in this name for a very long time. And I like the bump up there. And I just trying to sort of, not undiversify, but I own too many names. So I'm just trying to clean up the portfolio a little bit. And I figured if we can get up, let's see, I think I have my offers in and around 78. So if we can get out in and around these highs and not worry about these kind of lows again, then we'll do that with Block. So yeah, it's going to be hopefully a good day. Lots of names to look at. IBIT, 80,000 right now for Bitcoin, something to look at for sure on the radar there today. So yeah, look, we're excited. It's going to be a good one. Let's move forward and let's move backwards right here and go back to Brendan and Sharif, figure what they're talking about, and it's going to be our rundown pretty soon.
We're just talking about cars.
Yeah.
It's a good point, and I think it can apply here in the sense that we just had an employment number. We just had inflation data going back, or we're going to have more inflation data coming up at 10 o'clock this morning as well. Sure. But as gas prices continue to inch up and inch up and inch up and inch up, the value of actual ICE engine cars is going in the opposite direction in a pretty big way.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point I was trying to stress with you yesterday. Yeah. I'm like, these oil companies, they don't like very elevated gas prices because it creates demand destruction. And that demand destruction, could be transient and it could be permanent, really depending on the actions of the individual. For example, if a person who's never bought an EV before or anything other than gas cars all of a sudden decides to change and make that permanent move, there's a good chance they're not coming back.
Yeah.
Even if they take on these extended range vehicles that we've been talking about, which is where there's a smaller gas engine that just charges the batteries but doesn't drive the powertrain. Again, that's going to be a person who consumes far less gas because there's about a 250 kilometer battery on there. And so if you're living in the city, there's a good chance you may not even see the gas station for 3-4 months. So these higher oil prices, they're very detrimental to the economy currently, but they could be even more detrimental to certain sectors going forward and into the future permanently.
It may be beneficial even to the Teslas of the world. Is Rivian, launching this R2 at the exact right time? To their credit, they didn't have anything to do with, oil prices climbing, but
right.
You could see the same effect of what we had back in 22 or 21, 22, where we had that bump in oil prices and Teslas were $35,000 more then than they are now to walk in and buy a new one in this country anyway. So
it was so delusional, the Tesla demand at the time. It was like that people could not see the end of the high oil prices, and they were willing to pay $20,000, $30,000 higher. how long is that going to take you to make it up in gas? Like 5, 6, 7 years? I don't know. I guess it depends on the person, but permanent demand destruction is something that sticks into my mind when we have higher oil prices.
Yeah, far more competition, obviously, far more options now, which is great, for the consumer side of things. But yeah, I mean, a stock like Rivian doesn't look great if you just look at the past couple of weeks here. But going back to their earnings report, but maybe it's if they can actually get them out the door, guys. Like, this is the perfect time.
I think if you're looking at Rivian, try not to. You really have to focus on like the daily chart, like this higher time frame, long consolidation, where you've seen other cohorts. You've seen like Lucid go lower after a split. They reverse split and they just continue to go down. You have the other factor which was supposed to be weighing, and it has been weighing on some of these, which is the fact that we're not getting these the rate cuts, which can generally be bad, but there's been buy support for the last 2 years in Rivian, and it's been creeping up higher and higher. And you're getting another test, right? They reported they got dumped, and it's always beneath the 200 period moving average. But I think it's just a matter of there's accumulation going on here on this trend line, and I might add it to the list because we're getting pretty close. We're like 13. It'd be underneath 14, like just underneath 14 to get into the 13.5 is where you'd look at that trend line of support. And when you're drawing a line of best fit like this, it's not some exact place where it's going to obviously bounce, but it's the fact that you have the support in there on Rivian. And most of the moves have managed to get at least to $18, maybe the low 20s one time in here. And then I guess in here it was like $18. Yeah, it looks like it's primed for that next bounce. It could take a couple of days or weeks. We've seen that before. But when it does the consolidation and then breakout, that's been a good trade. Like here, there was only halfway, and then another retest ended up being really good when it broke out there. Hold, fail break, but then hold, then good. So like you just got to be patient with this one, and you get your spots in there, you take your 40, 50% or whatever it goes on the run, and then maybe you hold on to some for the dream, because there's definite accumulation here in Rivian. It's undeniable in the chart.
Yeah, I'm the minute they release those R2s, I think it's time to actually sell the stock. I don't really love. I'm going to be a buyer of a Rivian R2, but I don't really like the stock. I don't like the business, and I mean, Toyota today actually came out with a bad number as well. I don't know. I actually didn't even look at the stock yet, but it wasn't a great number. Okay, flat. No one's doing anything there. And I actually have an offer in my account right now to sell Ford. I've been holding Ford forever, like an idiot. And now we'll just wait to see what happens if it comes up into this area. In and around the 50 period, the 200 period moving average will be a great out for me. So around 1250. I just put the orders out this morning, so I think it's probably somewhere around there. So let's see if we can get out of Ford. Yeah, no, look, I mean, Sharif's right. Like, I think now that I own a Tesla, I don't think I'll probably buy another. Yeah, I mean, my wife still has the Atlas, so we still put some gas in the cars these days. But no, I mean, I've been super impressed with, and I just have a Model 3. I've been super impressed with it, and I think we'll stick electric. Like, I haven't paid for gas in a year. It's been amazing, and don't have to pay those crazy prices anymore for those cars. But here in Canada, we have the Chinese EVs coming through. So obviously you heard about the way our economy is going. I'm not too worried about these Chinese cars doing anything with other than taking jobs, of course, from our automotive industry here. But I like the stock of Tesla for A, their cars. I mean, I think their cars are pretty awesome. And then B, because of everything else that they've been doing as well. I mean, we're here, about the stack. We hear about, robo-taxis, Optimus, things moving forward. So I really do like Tesla here. So I'm going to try to sell some Ford, and I'm still in GM. I'm equally in both of these names. I just thought that GM has had a little bit of a better operating with Mary Barra there, just been a better operator than Ford. So I think if I'm going to stay in sort of this area, we'll stick with GM instead of Ford, and then put that Ford money to work in, something that's been working out rather than just sitting there not collecting a huge dividend or anything like that. So yeah, for me, Rivian, I mean, it's a good trade. I'm still long there at 10 or 11 bucks, something like that when we first talked about it. There, Randy's price, he doesn't want to get long until 10.20 for some reason. So I'm going to not buy anything here. If it does come all the way back in, like another 40% into 11, then I could possibly look at something. Rivian came out to market at $105, so it's been a really big wealth destroyer. So I don't know, man. You can trade in and out of it as much as you want, but if you look back here, this is December of 24. So it's been doing absolutely nothing other than bleeding. So, that's a great pop there, but you can see what the market's been doing. To sit in Rivian seems a little silly right now. So we'll do it with a very small amount and we'll wait for a dip. So I'll buy some Rivian if it does come back in there, but it has to be a lot lower than where we are right now. So many other names and spaces to be in, but hey man, maybe you do catch this one on a discount. It was just $18 and people liked it up there. Now it's $14, so when it gets another $4 lower, then maybe $10 coming in. Please see notes like Polestar, Fisker, Lucid, all these other places, and maybe you might have an idea of potentially where Rivian's going. So made a lot of mistakes buying weed names and things like that. These car companies, although not like weed names, it feels a little bit iffy putting some money in them at these levels. So even Tesla seems a bit shaky to be trying to buy it for their cars. So Upstart was just moving around a little bit there as well. So yeah, lots of names going through today. Upstart Block had their report there as well. So there's Upstart. I don't know, just made a move a buck higher right there. So we can definitely watch out for this name. So yeah, here we go, man. It's 9 o'clock, so we have a half hour till this Friday opens up, and I don't think it's going to be a doomsday Friday or anything like that. It was a decent number. I could see some profit taking heading into the weekend. I think we had JKL mentioned something about that as well. So
it's not like yesterday. Yesterday was profit taking. Like today, I think it might be more standard dip buying as opposed to like the dramatic what we saw yesterday. DraftKings, before we go back up to that, so we need to get that rundown started. DraftKings, I can't believe. This was right back to where we were. When we sat down today, it's like, oh, DraftKings gave back that move and isn't even going. This is looking pretty strong. I might add this one to the list. I'm just trying to figure out where I like it. It could just end up being like a VWAP or watch the open play. Let's go back up. It's 9 o'clock. See what the futures are doing. See what our rundown. It's a really busy watch list today. Probably one of the busiest watch lists because of all the earnings we had. So get locked and loaded. We'll go right through it and take you into the open.
All right, guys, 731 3/4 is where we closed out on the SPY yesterday. We're above that right now. Big boom up there on the back of and a better than expected NFPs. We're trading at 735.20 and we're up 0.5%. I was going to say 735 is resistance, but we've already cleared that. So look, we're going to look to 740. If this thing catches a bid, we're looking at that $10 area as our first level of resistance. Is blue sky setup. Who knows where we'll end up dropping off. But if we start selling off, as the boys were saying, maybe some profit taking coming in on a Friday, we're looking at 730, Brendo, as support.
As always, the free watch list for everyone down below in the description. Second link will get you to the sign-up page for that. All you need is your email address. And then you get everything you need to know delivered right here in box every single day. Come join us at 8 o'clock sharp every morning then. Just running a note on Apple from Wedbush, going to 400 on their price target.
Like that, Brendo.
Okay. Back to 291 here right now. Checking the scoreboard. That's $111. Damn. For Wedbush and Apple. Let's talk about these semis, though. AVGO coming out this morning saying they have a lot of orders ready to go right through 2027.
This was interesting to me, though, because we've been seeing some tensions in the OpenAI world, right? Maybe they can't finance this whole Stargate project or the trillion and change that they promised that they were committed to spending. And now it's starting to reverberate with some of their suppliers. Broadcom refused to finance this project unless Microsoft backstopped it. That's very interesting because we have not seen that yet with OpenAI. So here's the deal. The partnership is currently facing a massive financing challenge tied to the initial phase of the custom AI chip production by Broadcom for OpenAI. But Microsoft here is going to be the kingmaker. Broadcom is requiring Softie to commit to purchasing roughly 40% of the chips to secure the project's financing. Under the proposed deal, Microsoft would install the chips in its own data centers and then lease them back to OpenAI to use them there. So they would own them. The massive cost savings, of course, OpenAI views custom silicon, as we've been saying a lot, as essential to lowering the long-term server costs. Is expected to save about $200 million by going the custom ASICs route rather than the GPU route by 2029. So interesting look here, Brendo, but it's again, part of the story is OpenAI still the kingpin and doesn't have the finances and the financial backing to be able to spend all that they've committed to.
And more people, as you said, coming out hinting or just plain out saying, there's no chance. There's no chance they get to $1 trillion. AVGO, guys, I mean, $100 billion by 2027 is nothing to sneeze at either. But 420, 422 here for AVGO looks good.
Looks a little head and shoulders-ish on Broadcom there. Like I don't know, this one doesn't look quite as enticing as some of the other chip names. Like just to pose this with what you'll see when we look at NVIDIA in just a quick little second, right? Like lower high here, you can say 420, great, like the number, but 425, 426 would give you that shoulder that you need to bust out through today. Look, you could, absolutely. But if thinking dip buys, you just want something which is kind of giving you that upward trend. And for the last couple of sessions, this has been NVIDIA. You got 211-ish support. You got a breakout up top here, which is more like, you call it 215, but like 214.7. Much prefer looking for that dip and go in that chip space. And then we noted yesterday there was a pretty good, like a pretty solid hold on Intel all afternoon at 109. Like that's a pretty interesting over-under level. Like you've got a very defined range up at the top, unable to make a fresh high in the last couple of sessions, but I mean, you can't really hold that too much against Intel. Look at the chart. What do you want? Like the stock has gone from 40 to 111 in about 1 month or a couple of months. So I think that's a lot of heavy lifting. But 109 goes, you've got a nice gap fill down to 7. 109 bounces, you've got an even better range into 114. So you've got a pretty good level on both Intel and NVIDIA to trade off of, as opposed to Broadcom, which in some ways diddling in the middle, but just doesn't look quite as uptrendy lately.
All right, just messaging Joe over here, so hopefully he's doing well. Yeah, so I was looking here at, oh, that's right. We're supposed to punch out of this pretty soon if this keeps on going down. The future is just coming back in. We'll give it a second here to see. Yeah, no, Broadcom, I mean, a good story there. I actually want to take the other side of that and look at some Microsoft. I think Microsoft, a lot of people here been obviously getting hit down there as we've seen sort of their really big part is Azure. It's Azure, right? And AWS and Google Cloud both had bigger growth on that side of things than did Microsoft. So we do have to wait to see what winds up happening here with Microsoft and Azure growth, and hopefully that can keep up going to that upside. I'd rather actually buy. I mean, I still do like Broadcom. I'm not actually in Broadcom. You guys know I'm in Marvell. Similar company, although Broadcom bigger and more powerful, much more percentage of the market there Broadcom owns. But I just kind of think Microsoft in and around this $400 mark. Like if we do have a little bit of a pullback, Neil was mentioning some sort of head and shoulders there on Broadcom. If we do wind up coming back in, I still think Microsoft is that company, and you want to definitely have some of this in your portfolio there. So I'll go with Microsoft here rather than Broadcom at these current levels. But I still think there's a nice little upside momentum here for Broadcom today, especially with this market pulling back in. Might give us a good opportunity to pick something up, as we had just mentioned there. If you're not in too many chip names, but this, again, another name that's near those all-time highs and just looks like it's going to continue to perform real well. Both Microsoft and Broadcom might have a $400 price target associated with it. So that might be a good pull. What do you like better at 400, Broadcom or Microsoft? So both would need a little bit of a pullback in there. I like both names. I prefer Microsoft, though, just because of the valuation. Broadcom, great stock, should continue to work out, up 1.7%. Let's go over to Neil.
When we're looking to figure out where things are going, ask yourself, where does Bitcoin close the end of the week? Or maybe who wins in 2028? What's GDP going to do, and where's that going to land? Don't argue about it. Start trading it. Gemini Predictions is yes or no markets on crypto, commodities, politics, sports, and more. now featuring 15-minute and 5-minute crypto markets so you can trade the action in real time. You set your amounts, you see the odds, and get paid when you're right. Head to Gemini.com/TraderTV or scan the QR code to browse their contracts and start trading now. Shout out to them. And speaking of crypto and predicting it, we got Coinbase earnings, which, not that good. Markets may be at highs, but disappointing numbers out of Coinbase.
Back to the downside we go here on some more US-Iran headlines coming through here. Explosions heard through the Syriac region. Looks like close to the Strait of Hormuz currently. The love taps, as they were alluded to overnight, continuing, it would appear. But market back downside here right now on that. Let's go. Coinbase, it did follow suit a little bit, but trying to bounce here a little bit. We'll see. It's one of those days where, this whole week has been one of those days where any headline is going to send things in opposite directions. So, should we talk about CoreWeave here? Sell down to the lows once again of this tight side of the range. Coinbase is kind of hanging out here. Take your pick, either or.
We can look at CoreWeave. Brendo, just allow me a second over here. Okay, so let's talk a little CoreWeave. Let's move it up so you guys can just have a look. Tough report for them, sad. Sheer scale of the revenue backlog, that hit about $100 billion, guys. So that's about $100 billion in demand, RPOs, you'll call it what you want, backlog, that they can't meet. And that's up 50% in just 3 months. There are the remaining performance obligations. That means effectively they've locked in, if you believe the report here, about $100 billion in future revenue. Also, there was a bit of a margin lag trap. What do I mean by that? Revenue did surge 112% year over year, bringing in about $2.1 billion. But the operating margins absolutely collapsed from 17% down to 1%. That is worrisome. The temporary accounting phenomenon, according to the company, CoreWeave is incurring massive upfront electricity and data center bring up costs for that 3.5 gigawatt of capacity. So that won't be able to generate any money until late this year. Also, component pricing, not a surprise here, tucked into the guidance was a raise in 2026 capex to $35 billion. Management admitted this $4 billion increase is largely due to rising prices for liquid cooling components, power gear, not just GPUs, but of course we know these server racks are coming with RAM, and the RAM is, we know that as well, shooting through the roof.
A little bit expensive. A little bit expensive. We can touch on Coinbase here as well. As I said, we're just trying to break the bottom end of the range here from the pre-market. Not a heck of a lot to look at as far as price action this morning. Brian Armstrong calling this thing the quote-unquote everything exchange at this point, heavily leaning into the prediction markets, as we were saying.
So it didn't look good on the face of it, right? You have negative $1.49 EPS. The street was looking for a positive print, so that in and of itself is a problem. Also missing on the top line as well, $1.41 billion in revenue. That missed estimates. But I do have some positivity here that I want to mention. So despite the crypto market cap dropping about 20%, Coin hit new all-time highs in USDC held on its platform. And with interest rates remaining a little bit higher, they're making cash-free interest, basically cost-free interest, on that. So that's a good offset, basically a hedge against lower crypto volumes. As well, 13 straight quarters, Brendo, they've beaten on EBITDA. The market likes to focus on the non-GAAP, the GAAP net loss, but they've actually done 13 positive quarters there. There's some good in here. Maybe get spot up.
If you zoom out, the chart tells the story. Tried to bounce a little bit, but we're struggling, guys, both Coin and CoreWeave.
Well, at least CoreWeave is pulling back in an uptrend. Coinbase is, I guess, it hasn't been going lower is probably the best way to explain it. Mm-hmm. What I don't like here is, look, we had the Robinhood earnings, and we said this last night, like, it was, you knew where this was going to come in. You knew it would be a disappointment because obviously been bad for crypto, and year-over-year numbers weren't going to look good. It was a 20% decline. So you would have thought some of that would have been baked in, and then some kernels of positivity could have caught a bounce. That's not what happened here. Instead, it had already felt resistance at 216 half, I think was the level up here, close to it. You lose the 50-period moving average on Coin. Like, it just looks like a bit of a rollover trade. Now, I think in general, crypto's been lagging a bit. And by the way, like, I bit that 80,000 which back the afternoon, it was like the same thing. It was just like we can't really do much holding above the 80,000. When it was trying to go, it just wouldn't. Now you got it heading back in. Just relative weakness a little bit in crypto. I came in yesterday thinking that was going to be BM&R to the south side, and it was a gigantic fail because there were longs working in the morning, and when the longs were working, got excited that it was an all bullish market and abandoned the BM&R short. It's like the name that I'm looking for the fade today, and you've got where it broke down at 22.4. So I'm looking short side on crypto in general, but I'll probably stay away from Coinbase unless there's a pop. But I don't like that chart. I don't like the report. If I was I wouldn't be buying it here based on that because none of it was baked in. Really, like we were expecting bad numbers. They could have been worse, and it still can't seem to catch any kind of a bid. So maybe find where that one settles down at some point. But I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not in love with any of these fintech names. If anything, I think Robinhood might be the better one because Robinhood does have, again, a few different levers that they can pull here. I was actually willing to look at Webull. And the reason why Robinhood, I think, they've got sort of those different cards and the equity trading as well. Like Coinbase doesn't have the equity side of it. So, although crypto, we don't know where that's going to go in the next, 30 years, we're pretty certain that the markets are still going to be here and continue to be pretty hot. Webull flat on the day, literally, but this is the kind of movement that Webull's been having, and I don't know if this is the right one to buy. It's just we've seen Robinhood sort of languish forever under $10, $15, $20, and eventually got popped. Same thing for Coinbase, eventually popped. So I was like, if you wanted to take a shot at something, I think instead of trying to catch the 10 or 15% up or down on Coinbase, maybe you can catch like 200 or 300% here on Webull. Like I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. But again, Chinese, that's a little bit of the problem. We do have the president going over, to China to go figure that out. So we'll see if Webull can get going a little bit here on, positivity out of China. But I like that space as well. But Coinbase, just for me, I don't know, what it was 8.9%. It said global market share or something like that in the transaction space. Fine. There definitely is some nice tailwinds for them. They are sort of your one-stop shop as far as crypto is concerned. And I think that the fact that they have that sort of US base to it, that's positive. And so people, they don't have to worry about getting into Binance or anything like that. But this is going to be pretty stable. I'm still waiting for like that buy now button with Bitcoin and Coinbase and things like that. They were, as soon as that can become more prevalent, I think people will start using Coinbase more as like a bank. I have crypto in there. I want to pay my Visa bill or something with crypto. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but things like that I think would help Coinbase out. So
you gotta think eventually, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So as long as people can trust holding it on exchange and they can figure out different ways with USD stable coins or anything like that, I think Coinbase eventually has a good story to tell. It's just it's an up and down thing for now, and you go with the ebbs and flows. Like it really up to 200, back down into 170. Like that's pretty. It's tough to swallow if you're looking for something that's a little more stable. So I would just wait on Coinbase and nibble all the way down. But the chart is very, very interesting because this 140 looks like it wants to hold. So I think if you want to get back into that area, that's the part where I think you actually put some real money down on Coinbase. And we always hear Kathy Wood and everybody's always in there buying it. So. All right, let's continue to go 917 right now. Need a little bit more of a push down, right? I think to get these buyers in. You're at VWAP right now on the NASDAQ. Let's see if it winds up holding.
Giving back a lot here this morning. 216, 215 coming into play right now. Better part of 16% to the downside. Looks worse if you zoom out a little bit. A daily chart tells more of the story. We're all the way down here this morning on this thing. After guidance specifically was a little bit on the weak side.
Yeah, they beat on the top and bottom line for the current quarter. This is what I wanted to point out. They're going to have $140 to $150 million in cash charges, and that's going to go through Q3. That's going to wipe out their profitability for this quarter and next quarter and hurts their free cash flow, to the end of the year. I suspect that's why we're selling off quite aggressively. The layoffs usually are a bit of a bump. Usually you get when you announce layoffs. 1,100 roles, sadly, will be cut basically from the company. The management framed it that's a shift basically to agentic AI. So yet another set of layoffs tied to AI. Also, large deal lumpiness, the article reads here, Brendo. While deals over $1 million grew 73% year over year, it hinted at the longer sales cycle. So they're trying to get in bigger clients, spending bigger money, but those bigger clients are waiting a lot longer to actually fork over that money. That hurts revenue.
60%, better part of 60% off the Claude lows going back to April. And now we're giving back, 15, 16% of that today. It looks, I think, maybe a little bit worse than it could have been potentially, but just a huge move for this thing over the past couple of weeks, guys, anyway.
Yeah, I think the uncertainty over how to read the layoffs is exactly what's going on here, because this was a great story up until 12 hours ago. Well, I guess not 12, more than 12 hours ago when they had the earnings come out. So I don't think you throw this one away, because on some levels, it's probably the downward move is going to be exacerbated by the fact that it's a double top here. So, market breaking out and it's failing the highs. I think this would be enough that you can call it failing that high break at 250. But you've got both the 50 and the 200 period just sitting right here for a post-earnings support level. And it's down to the 205 area with some support at 200. So this really has the feel of you give it till mid next week. If we're holding that 200 to 205 area, okay, then there might be a nice little bounce in here. Let it digest. This is probably shocking price action. If we had done a poll and we didn't do one on this, like if you had done a poll last night and you were trying to figure out which name was going to be down 15%, I'm sure Trade Desk would have got a lot of votes. I'm fairly certain. I bet you Coinbase would have got more votes than Cloudflare. So it's probably a little bit surprising. I don't want to touch this one today. I just feel like there's going to be way too much. This feels like a choppy mess. Just out of before we go back, it just hit 920, and this might come in. But SLV silver, I like silver today, and it's already pulling back. But it's the resistance in the afternoon that I want to play off of. Like it just bounced. I actually had this long, and it just couldn't get past 72.5. So SLV, if we do another leg down, I want to be buying some dips into there. That could happen right quick. Only 8 or 9 minutes to go till the open. But yeah, disappointing for Cloudflare, but give it a couple of days. I think by next week we'll have some clarity on this, and it was a good story before. I don't think it's really this bad. That 200 level looks good.
Yeah, I mean, just one over Cloudflare. I mean, we definitely like that one. I was just going to go over and quickly look at DraftKings, another name that did report their nice little upside play for DraftKings. And we said yesterday that they had now a annualized run rate of $100 million on their prediction markets for sports. So I think that that's going to be a good thing there. I still think that there's going to be some sort of a legal fight between, Kalshi, Polymarket, and these names, where it's not fair that, DraftKings people that are over there have to pay taxes and everything on their winning, and all their bets are registered and so on and so forth. And I think that's the way gambling. I mean, look, I still like to make my bets with Tony in the back alley, but, at the end of the day, this is, for some people it's a business. So, we'll wait to see what's happening here with DraftKings and moving forward. I mean, just be able to sit at home, open up an app, and start to make some bets. That's why Kalshi and Polymarket and all that are starting to pop off. I just wonder about the legal sort of headwinds for the prediction markets, which would potentially be tailwinds for names that are already registered like DraftKings, right? I mean, they're still waiting for California and Texas and all that to come on board. Those are two huge markets. Florida, I believe, as well. Looking to get Flutter. That was another name. We did have their CEO step down the other day, too. So we could just see. Looks like DraftKings is trying to break out, which is why we're sort of showing that. So let's wait to see what winds up happening now. Iran's proposal to end the war is now under review, and Marco Rubio said there could possibly even be a deal today. I know it has nothing to do with DraftKings, but just watching out for the Nasdaq down here at VWAP. So we did get back into. We got stopped out of our queues there. We did buy it back, just thinking like, hey man, we're close enough to VWAP. Let's just wait this thing open up. If we break through 72.50, we can get out of this right off the open. But I still think the market does fly a little bit. We had a better than expected jobs report there, which started this move, and then I think it's just so easy to fade the moves. And like, even when that was happening, we said this is potentially going to come right back in. But it looks like we're trying to find some support now in the market. So we'll stick this long in and see what winds up happening at this open. All right, talk about getting something going here. It's Rocket Lab. Let's go find out how that report is sitting with investors.
Market trying to bounce here, trying to hold at least after that little bit of a pullback again on some Middle East headlines. But worth recapping. A lot of people just joining. Happy Friday if you are. Non-farm payrolls for April out this morning at 8:30, 123,000 on the private side of things, higher than expected than 75 up here. The headline number for April 115. Again, the consensus just 62,000. So a good look. This entire line I mentioned right out of the gate this morning at 8 o'clock when we came on. The unemployment rate not even budging, and it hasn't for a couple of months now. 4.3%, still holding very nicely. So overall, the market liking that. Back to the highs here, but we are giving a little bit back on some Middle East jitters, as you might want to call them, going into the weekend here with love taps continuing, as President Trump referred to them as overnight.
Yeah, that truth yesterday that came out late was lengthy and made me chuckle a little bit. But let's talk a little Rocket Labs, guys, because this was a good report. 3 points I want to point out here. This is no longer just a rocket company putting things into space. They are now a space system. What does that mean? They manufacture satellites and components, and that now accounts for 68% of their total revenue, with that segment growing 57% year over year. And it has significantly higher margins than the launch side of their business. Good look. And remember that Neutron rocket that they were talking about? Well, the media focused on, the little sound bites that they had, but the company actually booked a block sale of 5 dedicated Neutron launches to what they're calling a confidential commercial customer. We'll have to see whether that jives or what, but this is a massive validation of the rocket before it's even flown. So good look there. Last but not least, Brendo, we know that Rocket Labs was selected by the Department of War for the Golden Dome space-based interceptor program. The dollar amount coming from the Department of War is small, but that puts them on a short list of possible contractors and opens them up for maybe future contracts as well.
Government contracts, anyone? This thing's been an absolute monster since the middle of last year. If you zoom way out, continues. I mean, we're still holding in the middle of the range here this morning, even with this move. Keep in mind, 10 a.m. this morning, Michigan consumer sentiment, inflation data in that, guys. Good luck.
Absolute monster. I mean, or it's just been an absolute rocket ship to the upside. We could also say that about Rocket Labs. Like, why not, man? It's just, that one just, it's out there. You just tap it in, just tap, go to your home. That's what it's all about. Like, the breakout is seeming a little bit less likely with the pullback in the market. It was about 86.7 here, 86.70. For Rocket Labs, and there's an 83 level which does sit out as support, which I do like. We just had imbalances hit. There's nothing crazy. IBIT to sell though, 650,000 on IBIT. Just relative weakness in crypto the last couple days. I think it's just the 80,000 level that's been a problem here for IBIT. NVIDIA, very small buy of 180,000, and then SMR. That was an unexpected nothing burger SMR.
Oh yeah, that's what I meant to talk about.
It's a weird one, man, because it's down 100. Sorry,
it's down to 11.
It's got a sell balance of 180. But remember last night, and we were like, okay, this is SMR. If we open down here, you could get that test at $10. Maybe we bounce at $10. Well, it's right back to where it was last night, and kind of a nothing burger, only down 3%. Mentioned silver. We talked NVIDIA, we've talked Tesla, pretty much gone over just about everything. One of the only names I'm even looking short is hopefully, I shouldn't say hopefully, I want the market to go up, but if we do pop, I'll look to where the opening range was yesterday on BMNR, which is coinciding with the pre-market highs here. Just looking for that as a fade. Crypto just relatively weak, IBIT with a bit of a sell imbalance in there as well. So Rocket Labs, I don't know if we're gonna get that breakout today off the open. I think you're looking more at dip buys as we work our way into 9:30. I just realized we might have missed a couple of super chats in there.
Oh, wow.
I see one of them, and it's Syrian. I'm just going to throw this one up because I see it. I think there might have been another one. Did that not work? Oh, there we go. I feel like that's been slow this morning. Like I hit the button. But it's what do you think about? I need to refresh mine apparently. What do you think about AMD at the open? Rocket up or crash down? Well, I'm thinking dip and go on NVIDIA. But it doesn't matter what I think. AMD just spiked up at 20. I was about to tell you I'm on NVIDIA, I'm looking dip, but that's going down a little bit, and AMD's going higher. So this one answers the question for you. My guess, it probably just had a small buy imbalance that paired off. Not that I see it. But AMD has been an absolute rocket to the upside, but I would have been looking for dips into these levels here. But the imbalance probably taking this one up. But I'm looking at AMD or NVIDIA today, not AMD.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Sean, what do you think about Toast? Yeah, I don't think the stock is Toast. I know Josh Brown there likes this stock, which makes me a little nervous. But TOST here, yeah, I mean it's a good name. I think there's a lot of restaurants and everything using it. As we start talking more, I mean, I don't know. I guess they reported down 14%. Yeah, so we'll get those numbers. Maybe Dara's in the back there telling me that they did have a report coming through. We still have a minute to go. We can talk about this, Dara, once the market opens. But yeah, it's we've seen weakness in Wendy's. We talked about that. We talked about McDonald's yesterday. So I just don't know how many people are right now out and about at some of the restaurants here. But we can watch out for Toast. I do think the order system, making it more efficient for businesses. And I'd just like to hear about what their growth rate was like, because again, it's a software play. So you need to keep adding those customers year over year. So we'll find out about that report on Toast. But it's kind of like daily active users when you're talking about Snapchat or Roblox or things like that. As long as it's a software and it's a service, it's going to get hit. And right now, that's kind of like what's been happening right now. Okay, man, CoreWeave just went for a dump as well. So we're going to be excited to see that down to 118. So this was a level that I had written down as a watch out level there on the sticky note, which is now out. Only 10 seconds to go. Here comes CoreWeave just dumping into 118 right now. So, all right, brought to you by Origenics. I want to thank them for the opening bell. But here we go, ready to rock and roll on a Friday. Hope everyone's having a great day today, as I'm sure many of you are. So we're going to get ready to see what we can do with this. But right now, just long the market. It's going for a little bit of a dip down here. I'm going to get out of this at 72.50 if it does wind up breaking that. Just a little back and forth action here early. Tesla 412 is something that we're looking out for. But that's, wow. Tesla was just at 415. Now it's at 420 already. So bye-bye Tesla.
Wow,
upside right here.
Not even close to a dip buy on Tesla.
Not yet.
That's how they do sometimes.
Oh, CoreWeave just ripped. Oh my God.
No way.
Right off that 118. Well, 123 CoreWeave right there. Wow. We had written down 118, man, on the note, but it came too early, and there it goes upside for
Same
CoreWeave.
move in trade desk too.
Oh man, yeah. So they are coming in to buy everything right now. Watch out for the Nasdaq starting to go. Nasdaq up 138 points, up 0.7. There goes CoreWeave right off that 118. We like that level a lot. It's gone already with Tesla. We could check if we're running after IREN or not, because that name making a little different of a move there. Not doing CoreWeave style is IREN. We'll see if it pulls back a bit.
Yeah, Apple just broke. That actually ticked close to its all-time high. Almost everything just immediately jumping off of the open. So forget about the dip buy down at 72.5. If we're just going to hold higher lows, then I'm going to buy the first available dip that we can get in SLV. That looks like it's going to be around the volume-weighted average price. So just going to pop into that. We talked about USO, where there was a tit for tat back and forth, blah, 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 those headlines coming through. But you actually have oil breaking the low to start the day, which is also adding fuel to the fire. So Tesla gone, NVIDIA gone. Whoops, that's not Amex. NVIDIA, well, maybe not gone. NVIDIA broke the high, but is starting to tick in a little bit back here. Still haven't got picked up in silver yet, but that could potentially give us a chance at that volume-weighted average price. And one more for you, we'll go back over to Sean. Coinbase through the low of the day and not breaking higher because crypto is actually broke the low.
Oh, no, did it? Oh, yeah, 79, yeah.
So it looks like we're still in a bit of a weak market for crypto.
All right, we went bang. We went shopping there on the NASDAQ and found a little bit there. We get some out at view up at 73. Once it breaks 73, we waited for it to break 73.05 right there, and we punched a little bit more long. Unfortunately, when we punched 05s, we got 10s. There. So I did put an aggressive market limit order upside right there, but it is your chicken dinner winner to start the day here on the market. So yeah, so far so good to get some offers here at 30s. Oh, we're offering 29s right there. We'll see if we can get that one more tick higher. We get a little bit of a take right there. Almost. Anyways, we're going to stay long on the futures. It's bye-bye. Just heard you say Rocket Labs, but there goes Tesla through 420, but pulling back just a little bit off of that. And then it's like you can't keep CoreWeave down, I don't think. But there it is, right back in again, 118. So watch out now for that level. I thought it was still ripping when I brought that up, but bouncing downside now is CoreWeave. Why can't I get that 79, that 29 fill there. I'm going to just offer some at 25s here. Oh, there we go. We get that at least. All right. So that's a TQs only in that position right now. The other ones I was looking at was IREN there if it dipped down, and then CoreWeave at its current price. So let's give CoreWeave a minute, see if it does want to deal with this 118. It looks like it was hot early, but now with this drop, it might not be. So we're going to take it easy right now. People saying Micron gone right now.
Everything's gone. No, I was just saying.
Is NVIDIA gone as well?
The only place I'm actually bidding actively is SLV to try to get that early, just like the last couple of days. But look at Rocket Lab go. Forget about it. And it broke, and it was at 88 in a heartbeat. Kind of was going to make a DeLorean joke, but you get the idea. It's almost at $90 now. Rocket Lab absolutely flying. NVIDIA is at least chopping up a little bit at the 215. Don't like it for a 15 break on a Friday because that's an optionable level. But let's look for a false break of the high and a pullback into the prior day high. At least that's what I'm going to look for. They're Apple gone, Tesla. Are you kidding me?
What's up with Uber? Uber's getting absolutely spanked. There has to be some sort of news on Uber right now. Yeah, Uber's straight down. It's so funny because like when this was $80, I was like, nah, man, we don't like this stock. We got to get out of it. Now it's 75, and we're still holding it. So there goes Uber all the way down to $75. A $2 straight downside on Uber, down 2%, Adara?
Not seeing anything yet. Could be Lyft sympathy because Lyft had earnings, but Lyft's not either. I'm not seeing anything on Uber if that changes.
Okay. Yeah, so look, man, as Apple,
not that much.
As Apple keeps on going higher, man, we're in the futures, and the futures is a bang, 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 bang trade right now with the TQs as that keeps on going higher there. It's too bad we got stopped out a little bit there early on. Oh, wow. Here we go, man. All right. Sounds like a broken record, but we just did it again there. Let's see if we can hold our nets today. But there it goes right up into 73.50. We got stopped out there. We bought it back, realizing that was VWAP, and then right back upside now as we, celebrate that jobs number and a good Friday here. Now up 1%. Let's see if we can climb even further on this one. Stopping out probably around that $73 mark now that we see this, but it's only 5 minutes in. So, I'm actually out of half of it. Let's see if we can continue to roll higher right now. And I noticed like yesterday, I don't get out enough like at the very, very top. So that's what we've been doing right here, like just trying to get some out 30s, 40s, and then now wait to see if we can have that one dream position come through for us. And Apple and NVIDIA, I think if we're going to think about long in the markets, these are names that we have to keep going back to. So let's see.
NVIDIA did the false break.
Yeah, let's see if it can hold now.
Well, I put my offer out on BMNR. The market's at the highs, and that's actually at the lows, trying to get back to the upside. So it's probably the only thing that looks relatively weak is going to be crypto. But when I say false break, there's your 215 on NVIDIA. It tagged 215.5. So looking for the pullback into prior high, which is going to coincide with VWAP. But don't want to get in on the down candle. Did that yesterday, like trying to buy the dip on the red. If we put in that pullback, allow it to do it, and then get into the long. Same thing with silver. Don't want to rush. If we're going to get a ridiculous day and we end up with like a 2% or like a 1 to 2% kind of day, then there's going to be opportunities to get back into it. So we're just going to wait for that. BMNR, which is still, crypto's still looking weak. That's not pulling up at all. If we're not pulling into VWAP, I might actually go for this one underneath the volume weighted average price because you're pressing the highs. And if you're pressing the highs, then I can get a consolidation level. If it doesn't break out, then I'm shorting what is weak, and we turn and we head to the low. So we're going to give it a relatively tight stop because I have to give it to this little 2185 level here. But yeah, clearly relative weakness in crypto.
All right, we got out of our XYZ on a day like today. I told you we were at 76.75 there, so we just got that triggered out now of XYZ. We'll see if it keeps. Oh wow! Now we're starting to go, baby. Let's see what kind of we can have on here. We do have consumer sentiment coming out. There is a little bit of a number situation today, so we can go over and have a quick look at our watch list and see exactly what numbers are coming out.
At 10.
Yeah, Michigan at 10. And if you guys aren't part of the watch list, please get part of it immediately. Right now, there's a lot of work that's put into this, and and there's all the numbers right here, the economic events. We even have a little bit of pre-market talk on here as well. There's 8:30. There's all the expected, the priors, and then here we go. U of Michigan coming through, expected, the priors, and then also, anybody speaking today is always mentioned on here as well. And then these are the stocks, the stocks that reported today or that will be reporting today, and then it just goes with all of the stories here that you need to know. The Trade Desk, Tesla, Monster Beverage, we didn't even cover. There's Cloudflare, there's Block. But anyways, just something that I feel, very very proud of, obviously, as our team works very hard on getting that watch. Just want to give a big shout out to Adair in the back there for that one again. So yeah, there it is, man. We did have a nice little move higher there. I'm going to take another opportunity to get some out here at 46s. We got a 58 there. So that was like, it's clear, it's basically blue skies right ahead. Like, there's nothing up here. The Nasdaq's at all-time highs, so is the TQQs. So we just have to hope that if it does have a pullback, we have our outs properly scheduled and we get some out on these moves higher. So far, so good. Adair's got something for us.
Yeah, what I have here is you asked about toast, and so I delivered some toast here. So here's some toast. Toast not too toasted in terms of the numbers, though it is down on the day, obviously, as you can see here. TOST, 20 cents per share versus 15 cents expected. Sales, very, very slight beat, like literally squint beat here. 1.63 billion versus 1.629 billion. That's toast, and we're going to go back to the guys who are not toast.
I love toast, not the company. But sometimes, you know, you just got to rock it out, get some good jam. Fresh, homemade jam is where it's at. So the market's at the highs. Bitcoin's at 79. ETH probably down. I don't know. So I'm in BM&R. We took it with a relatively tighter stop. But if we press the low of the day, I want this to gap fill. Because if the NASDAQ were to turn here, what is weak gets weaker. But we do get this dip. There's some things we want to look for some dip buys. And one of them is starting to come in here. And that would be SLV. So first time we're getting a bit of a dip in silver. I can forget about pre-market low.
Oh my God.
Got to look at VWAP in here on SLV. Wow, you're out and about. What's the all-time high in NVIDIA?
I don't know, but I'll check in a minute. But we have all-time highs right now. I mean, I was just, like I got out of XYZ and I wanted to buy Corning was the next sort of one to buy for me. And yeah, okay, Corning, 186. Hello, right there. Corning absolutely crushing right now, up 7%. IREN coming back into $61.
Whoa.
This is something here. Yeah,
Why
IREN really coming back in right now. I don't know if CoreWeave is also having this happen to it right now, but here comes IREN. You know, difficult one to watch out for because you were up double digits there, now pulling back into 61. We did say that we may try a little bit of a dance here, so let's try it right now at 61 flat. We'll get a little bit of this, but hey man, if we break below $60, it's an easy way to stop out of this one. So we'll go 59.99. We'll put a stop order out on this one, and hopefully we're lucky enough to not have to get hit out on this trade. But so far, we're into IREN and we're into the futures. So 2 trades right now, and you know, if you guys are following me, thank you. If not, that's cool too. We did have a good video yesterday. We could put that out about Neil and I. Thanks, Shermeen, for this very flattering picture. That's absolutely amazing. And then we will also talk about IREN. There it is, $61. So we're in it right now. It's a decent trade. It's now almost $1 in the money as it's back up to $62. We'll take a piece out there and see if it can fly. I like that CoreWeave at 118, but again, I don't even want to stand in front of a falling knife on IREN. It's just the fact that it was 10 minutes in that we take it. There's the Qs. We talked about that. We're long 73. Tesla didn't come into 412. So those are the ideas that we had there today. We didn't get anything out on IREN. It just ripped up into 62 as we were discussing that, but it's not a huge position here on earnings. I think the best way to play earnings sometimes is just wait even longer than where we are right now. And we say, oh, there it is. So there's the fill lower. So you guys know where we're stopping out on this one, man. A break of 60 looks like that's pretty imminent at this point. So watch out here as we have IREN on a dip buy, just watching out for a key level of 60. I could see it break and fake,
Oil's
you know.
FVU.
Yeah, oil's FVU up. Okay, so I could see this name hitting 60 and then ripping right back up after it doesn't continue to tank, but I'm not willing to take that risk. So if this name does fall through $60, we're out of this name, IREN. We only have half a unit, so we had 4 units on the TQQ trade.
And just quickly, we are right back into it is VWAP, but it's also where we broke down on USO, right? So support was here at 133. You're working into it, and it looks like it's rejected.
Oh, buy futures.
I'm buying into this on the way down on SLV. I do need to think about where we're getting out here on BM&R, because it's not, like, we're not breaking any lower. And as much as I like the fact that it is relatively weak, we ended up selling this way off of, like, we chased the move down. And if we end up holding here, eventually, if the market just keeps on going, you gotta think that there will be some buys and I can get back in at a better price there on BM&R. And you gotta watch out. Bitcoin can't seem to break the 80,000 level, so we're in SLV. I thought maybe we'd be able to pick up like a Tesla. Shoot, that was fast. Right. Well, while I was over getting SLV and making a decision on BM&R, Tesla already off the volume weighted average price and gone. NVIDIA does not pull back into VWAP. There was pretty much nothing really doing there for a VWAP entry. And then the other name in the chip space we're looking for, as you can clearly tell, Intel has not had a red candle yet on the session. So if you're buying the dip in Intel, there is no dip to be bought, 5% and another ridiculous run here for INTC.
Okay.
That stock is redundant.
CoreWeave did, IREN did fall out through now through 59, down through 60 into 59.50 right now. But like I said, that's why I feel like, and we talked about it yesterday about position sizing, and it's just like, this is why it means everything. It's we literally had 3 or 4 units on this. I think it was 3.5 units by the time we punched in versus half a unit there on IREN, right? And so there we go, really nice upside play here for the NASDAQ, because it just keeps on going. Might as well take some more out here, up 1.09 near the highs of the day. So there it goes, man. IREN TQ's upside. I'm still going to try a 61 break, but it needs to break this time. So if it does go back up through, we'll play the momentum back through IREN one more time, and we'll try another half unit if it does break through $61, and we'll see if we can. And it's not a revenge trade. We'll just see if we can get it back, because I do like that level. I thought, anyways, right into there. Maybe 59 winds up holding. But anyways, IREN on one right now. Your name Google, we looked at that earlier
that
there
was
as well. I
disappointing.
mean, yeah, now it's coming up. It looks like it wants to break $400 right now. Great dip buy opportunity. Here we go, man. Yeah, breaking 400 would be real nice, because that should spike the futures just a little bit as well. So here we go, man. Nice move there for Google today on the back end of that trade. So that looked like that was a great one down there as well. We'll see IREN's trying to hold $60 now, so we'll continue to watch out for that one. Yeah, Google, great call out on that. Okay, there, wow. I mean, you want to talk about the trade of the day right here. This for me is just, wow. There goes the NASDAQ, man. Nothing but love back there to the upside. We wrote it down, $73. So that's your Dollar Club member early right now on the NASDAQ. I have no problem getting these early goals. It's what I do after this that's the problem. So here we go, man. Nice upside. I'm trying to make more, so just letting you guys know that this is what we talk about when I say part-time trading, and there it goes. Here goes IREN. So we're back into it. Let's see what winds up happening now if we do get a nice little upside push on IREN. Here we go. Let's take some out here. 25 cents, 30 cents in the money now on IREN. Maybe that was the dip buy opportunity that everyone needed down there at 59. But wow, man, it is a monster right now as the NASDAQ up now 1.25 percentage points and starting to go. Google 400 coming pretty soon. There goes IREN back downside again.
Google's about to break 400 here.
All right, go for it, man. Silver and BM&R over there. Yo, what's up, Randy? He's doing well. You feeling okay? Today's Friday, right? Yeah. Oh my God, this guy's got cookies over here. Okay. We just don't see Randy.
I thought that was a quesadilla.
We just don't see. There's no more quesadillas left, I don't think.
No.
We're not used to seeing you here on Fridays, Randy. It's good to have you, man. That is for sure. Okay, so just in and out of IREN. Let's go over to Neil, because you guys see what I'm doing, man, and we're putting those numbers up again.
So I'm looking for this out here in BM&R. We're still headed downside. Low of the day as crypto falls, and whatever. It's what's happening. It doesn't have to make any sense. I actually don't think this makes a ton of sense. I'll check in on what the U.S. dollar is doing. But last I checked, it wasn't doing anything too crazy. But with the market pressing through 29, we're now at the next level. So I'm going to throw in a trailing stop here to just make sure we get what we get. Do not want this to start following the overall market. Because if it does, like you do a V shape on these bad boys, and it could get pretty nasty pretty quick. And following along with what ETH is doing here, load. You've already made a low on ETH, which BM&R is, of course, an ETH derivative. So if we're not making fresh lows there, I do want to make sure we try to grab the profit that we can. SLV is just holding. Silver. Like, we're just holding VWAP, and I'm waiting for the high of the day. Like, I'm looking high of the day, and then I'm looking yesterday's highs. Pretty simple with SLV. I think we did this the last 2 days in a row, where it just bounces off of VWAP, we get to the high, and then you hold it. There was an abrupt turn at about 11 o'clock, but that was more market-related than anything else. So yeah, the trend is your friend until the end, and market going higher. I think eventually you got to get out of that short, though, on BM&R. Even if it works, I can't see it following all the way through with all this strength.
So we've done really, really well on this NASDAQ trade, and I just don't like I'm starting to think about like not holding this, you know, like if this breaks 60 again on IREN, we had 2 decent outs in the 30s, 135 and 130 flat up there, but it doesn't really want to work out. And I always feel bad when taking shots on things, especially like I've never traded IREN before. And then, we really do what we do best, and that is going right back into the futures, and we trade that one. So I don't want to give back too much here. Again, we did take another half unit, so it looks like we'll lose on this one. So lost on the first half, another half, still totals 1 unit there on the downside. So, all right, our entries are spectacular. Okay, well, thank you for that. I definitely appreciate all that kind of talk. I mean, I'm trying to prove it every day to you guys. Talk about it, levels, feel free. Your entries are spectacular, talk about it, levels, feel. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that what you want to do is why we put out this sticky note is to try to find some levels right there. And, it's tough on earnings. We've talked about that. And so there's another one on IREN. We'll go 0 for 2 on that and give back a little bit of what we've made here today. But I think if levels are fine, but it's also the macro story. We did have better than expected jobs numbers there today, so we do wind up holding out for this NASDAQ trade, and we just waited for it. It did break back down the low of the day there, of the pre-market, so I did stop out, but then once it was, I actually didn't even realize it was VWAP at the time. It wasn't VWAP, it was that low, so we wound up holding it. I did get back in a little bit, and then we punched right there when we took the 50 period back there to the upside, just simply believing in the NASDAQ and the move today, right? And so, yeah, I mean, thank you for that comment. And, as we say, man, you can always ask us, and we even put up polls, like, are you red, are you green, how's your day going? So, yeah, just hopefully you guys are sized appropriately. We did that lesson there yesterday, and anyone can find winners. It's how much risk are you putting on to those winners is what matters. Because, if I was getting smoked on these IREN, if I was putting the same amount of units on IREN that I was on the Qs, then it would be, a wash or down. So you got to be careful with what you're doing and just try to find the best opportunities for you. Everybody does trade differently. AMD's at 433. I sold some at 418.
Oh, forget that.
The other day. There goes AMD.
That's good.
Yeah, good thing we didn't sell too much of that. But there it goes, man. Up again. This Corning and this AMD. Hopefully Marvell. Well, Corning at least pulling back a little bit. Hopefully Marvell's also enjoying a nice little ride upside as well right now. So yeah, good. Up 3%, battling back from what it was doing yesterday. I still want to buy some IREN, so I don't know. I'm getting ready, thinking about this one at the lows here.
Strengthen all of the chip names. NVIDIA's up 2.5 points, 217. ARM, though, if you're waiting for dip buys at 200, another day, another fail, because that's now back higher, up 2.5 points. Micron, everybody. Oh, no. Micron's stock that doesn't load. There we go. Yeah, so about that. 8% up on Micron. You think the memory space is doing okay?
Yeah.
I'd say so. 6% on SanDisk. Come on.
Come on, SanDisk.
8%, and you're only going to go 6? Yeah, that's ridiculous. You know what? I feel like it's once again happened again. I'm chasing the move down in BM&R. I basically waited for the first green candle to short it, and that was the only reason. I liked it for the short side. The market's going up and it's going down, so it's relatively weak. So it checked 2 boxes. Then I see the market breaking out the top, and I'm like, okay. We caught a bit of a bid in ETH. Market broke the high. Let's trail out of this one. And, of course, it continues to go lower. So it's defying a bit of logic to me, the weakness that we're getting, but it's there. So I'll look for another re-entry in that. SLV is continuing to go higher. Tesla, I don't know.
Oh, is Tesla still going?
Tesla 425 just hit in here. So there might be a chance. We missed VWAP the first time while looking at other things. If it comes back into VWAP, maybe we can try that again. Oh, and DraftKings, that's a name. That's one name that we've been looking at this morning. So, yeah, fail. Doesn't hold VWAP. So much respect for VWAP in the pre-market. There has not been a green candle since it failed the volume weighted average price. So this ends up being a bit of a nothing burger on DraftKings for now. Maybe we look back at that one a little bit later and we're able to find an entry, find some levels. I like the quarter. We like the report. I like the report and I like the quarter on a firm, but I couldn't find a trade there either. Sometimes, it can look good, but there's no actual long entry right now in DraftKings. So I want to reload silver if we get more at the volume weighted average price. It's got an upward trend. Break out the high. See if you can't get SLV. See if you can't get into the 74.20 level. So still staying long. Want to buy dips if we can get them in Tesla and silver and short pops in crypto. not really doing anything incredibly different. Let us know what other names you guys are looking at.
Yeah, always looking.
Because so far so good. Like both we've been in have worked. Just wish we'd been able to pick up that Tesla.
Oh man, yeah, Tesla was the #1 idea, but no dip by opportunity there, and I didn't want to chase it. So yeah, congratulations to everybody that's been on that name there today. And if you've been on the futures as well as NVIDIA, I'm fine missing NVIDIA because we have the NASDAQ, but look at NVIDIA right now. I mean, Tesla's been great, but NVIDIA is also, 213 right there off your 200 period moving average, and kaboom, right there to the upside. We'll have to wait to see what winds up happening now with NVDA. Okay, now we've got a little bit back on here we didn't get out of everything. We bought some 59 dip buy opportunities there on IREN. So let's see how much this one wants to sort of appreciate back. Maybe it's sort of been washed a little bit to the downside now on IREN. It's, good name, good power name. We saw what's been happening here in the space today. Maybe because of earnings, we're seeing obviously a downside push there in IREN. We're also seeing it in CoreWeave down there to 114 right now. So some of these names that had reported last night, not really seeing the light of day right now. So we're gonna have to just hold out that maybe that does wind up happening. Good out there as the market's pulling back just a bit. Here, maybe it's getting a little tired, up 1.3% into a Friday. Could be something to look at. We talked about the data space. I really like this name here, man. I really like Amazon. And wow, that went down to 270. Okay, I got to figure out where my buys orders are. I thought we were around this 250 area, so we're nowhere near it. But there it goes, trying to go right back up to the top side again goes Amazon, looking to break out now through all of these levels, man. They just keep on going. All right, what's up, Frankie, there in the chat? I'll put that out right now. Yeah, no, we're not.
Rizzo.
Look, man, I don't think we're good enough for anybody to actually worry about hedge funds or anybody doing anything to us right here. So if they do trade against us, that's completely fine. We have a lot of times people do that, right? Everybody here has different strategies and different share sizes and everything. We're not going to get wiped out if something dramatically went against us. We also have stop orders and everything. So I do know, like I get people messaging me all the time that are in the business that are watching and everything. So we just want to thank them for watching and continue to come on board. And they know how hard it is to trade. So a lot of them actually respecting some of the things that we've been doing, right? That's why we have such great guests on all the time. They know that we're the real deal here anyways, and so we're trying to do the best and educate, inform, and just try to have some good fun with everybody here, and we're definitely feel like we're doing that every day. We have multiple dollars right now in the portfolio. We got $1.13 now on the Qs and $1 on IREN. So yeah, man, everything's kosher around here, that's for sure. Let's just let this market continue to hopefully mature upside there. And the long-term portfolios, once again, another great day to check them, especially if you're in big caps, as the Nasdaq's up 1.3%, and so is the ES up 0.6. So obviously the day's being carried by some of these heavyweights that are coming through here again. And it's something like, I forget what percent of the S&P 500 is these top 6-7 names. But Microsoft, actually, they're not helping the market at all. Down today on worries, right? Was Broadcom and Microsoft talking about trying to get their deal together here to fund some of these data center build out, right?
But it's not just them. It's actually
14 or
Meta's down at the low of the day as well. So you're seeing a few other Mag 7 names looking weak. Greg with the super chat. Greg for the win. Okay.
Yeah, we like Greg. Thank you, Greg.
Rocket Lab 90, 41 to 94. Wasn't even watching Rocket Lab. Anyhow, Rocket Lab.
Yeah.
Anyhow, got to share the wealth and treat the staff good. We should be doing the burgers on Friday.
It's up to you.
On the West Coast. Well, no, it's because we're waiting for Sia.
Yeah, when she comes back.
When the whole thing with the burgers is for Sia. She's never had a burger before, she says.
Which she has, of course.
Which, of course, she has. But thank you so much. Appreciate you from the West Coast.
Yeah, man.
Vancouver.
Sick. Thank you so much, Greg.
It's got to be Gulf weather out there. I'm sure it's not nice and warm. You probably get a heck of a lot more rain. Appreciate you, Greg. There was another super chat that I wanted to throw up as well, and thank you for that one, Greg. We appreciate all of the super chats. Adam James abroad. SoFi, you suck. Dead money. Happy Friday, y'all. Really? SoFi again, huh? Well, you know what? Coin is down. Of bad earnings. Crypto's pretty weak today. Everyone's going into tech, so I don't know what to tell you. It just has not been good for this post earnings. Look, I still own SoFi. Like I dip bot, Robinhood, not SoFi. I don't
far.
think it necessarily matters which one. Doesn't look very good. Maybe you can hold this 15 level.
Wow, SoFi's getting crushed.
Maybe you
today.
can hold the 15 level. That's the best I can give you. It hasn't really caught a bid since the earnings. Just this is a wait as far as I'm concerned. I don't know what else you do with that stock at this point. It's not its time yet. I think it'll be fine in the long term, but maybe we have a little bit more of a downtrend to sit through. I think the low teens for sure. Like I'm looking at the 12, 13. If we get down there, then I'm DCAing. I'm not buying. I'm not DCAing here. I'm waiting for another leg down at this point.
All right, what's up, Gwarev? Looking to buy some Apple. Okay, we can, let's have a look at that, Gwarev. I know you rode some pretty sweet trades with me yesterday there, so shout out to you, Gwarev. Thanks for bringing all this up again. Yeah, look, I mean, all these names flying, right? So we're going to try to hold on to our NASDAQ right now. And yeah, I think you and I are probably looking at the same levels, man. I mean, this 290, 250, something into there, into VWAP. I'm a little bit like, I don't know, like I'm starting to get out. I mean, we only have about a third left of this Q's position. I'm actually going to take a piece out here as we're basically at the highs again of the NASDAQ. I'm just getting nervous, you know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with doing that. You know, it's near the highs. We're bouncing around right now on the Q's. You know, I'm so glad that a lot of you guys are sort of giving me the screws yesterday and saying like, why the hell am I not trading the futures more? You guys have seen so many trades go through on this that have been successful. So thank you so much for reminding me to get back into, once again, my favorite graphic, back into the futures there. And it's now obviously leading the way once again here today. So, all right, Adara with numbers in 20 seconds. Let's go. University of Michigan. We're both double barrel long. I am IREN and the Qs. Neil's got silver long. Let's go find out what these numbers are all about.
In just 15 seconds here, now 10 seconds, we're going to get University of Michigan consumer sentiment. 49.5 is the forecast, 49.8 prior print. We're also going to get 1-year and 5-year inflation expectations. So we're expecting these numbers at any moment. University of Michigan consumer sentiment, 48.2. So that's going to be a little bit below what we were expecting here, 49.5. 5-year inflation expectations coming out here at 3.4, below estimates of 3.5. 1-year inflation expectation, 4.5% versus 4.8% expected. So basically here, consumers looking a little bit less enthusiastic, but they are expecting inflation to be lower than they were previously. So kind of a mixed number here. NASDAQ right now falling a little bit as the initial reaction to that print, but you can take a look at the SPY, reacting pretty similarly here. Overall, though, great market move, and you cannot say that it's not being led here by tech, because it certainly is. Here is MU pushing to the upside. Micron strong, SanDisk strong. A lot of these other chip-related names and AI-related names are strong. We talked about Google earlier today, now wrestling with that $400 level. So there's a lot of tech in focus, and the other story on watch, of course, continues to be earnings plays. DraftKings on watch here. They did have EPS beat, sales basically in line. They reaffirmed their guidance for fiscal 26 with the likes of Coinbase, Cloudflare, Wendy's, IREN also reporting. So tons of stories on watch here. So stick with us all day, every day, as we send you back over to Sean and Neil.
There, market actually pulling back on that number a little bit. But without the market making fresh highs, I guess we're not going to get the bounce yet in BMNR. I think I just have to be patient with this one. Market's not strong enough to lift the crypto market. And if we bounce off the lows, that'll give a chance, I think, to get in at the volume weighted average price. So it's about 21.75. Still tracking what's going on in Bitcoin. I think it's just the 80,000 level on BTC, and ETH having some trouble going any higher. So we've got to be patient, got to wait for that one to come back in. NVIDIA is pulling back off of the highs. I don't want to say pulling back into VWAP because that hasn't really manifested yet. And finally, DraftKings is starting to catch a bid. So it did a huge trend break just now. It's not going to be at VWAP, not ideal. I would like to see it holding that level, but obviously it's broken the trend. As long as we can hold this candle above 26, I want to look for a play into the volume weighted average price here for DraftKings. It's still up 4%. That's relative weakness so far this morning on DraftKings. Good report, but some profit taking coming in here on this particular name. And this is definitely a bottom pick. Like, look at the stock. It's only now breaking out on the daily. Almost an enticing swing, too, when you look at that DraftKings daily chart. If it can hold, if we close, I should say, if we open up on Monday and we're still above $26, I like that one. You go 50-period to the 200 period hold.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly why we keep talking about DraftKings. We even talked about that last night there as a breakout trade long. I still think there's more, hopefully more tailwinds than headwinds on that name. Okay, NASDAQ right now, all-time highs. We're long. It's an absolute monster trade right there. And then IREN is now $1.50 in the money, and we just missed that $62 mark. So we're going to sit up there and see if we can get 62 bucks right now on IREN. We've lost on this name, so we're trying to see if it wants to just bounce around a little bit here and hopefully just keep edging a little higher. Maybe we can get up into VWAP one more time as we try to hold on to this long. I still have more than half of this second long or third long, I guess, on board right now on IREN, and it just touched out into 62 bucks. Really waiting for 62.50 to come in. So far so good there. And yeah, man, everybody telling me to, as I like to say around here, I think it used to be Neil's saying, but now I hear Sharif in it all the time, this wet your beak nonsense. There it goes, up 4% right now. Is Tesla. We had that thing that you had that dip down. Wasn't that yours before you even?
No.
Was even here before?
No, I said it. I said it.
Didn't we have that graphic?
We had the graphic. The whole
It was made for when Sharif and I were on the Midday in 2024.
Yeah, okay, so it's Sharif's fault. All right, so here we go, man. $430 right there for Tesla, man. I mean, we wrote this thing down at 412. It only got into 415, and we should have. That's the problem when I write this note down, right? I mean, we're using the 200 period moving average, but it's I got to write it closer to the open, just trying to get it out for you guys again. But all right, so we only have a very small piece left now on the TQs. Let's call it 15% there. Let's call it half on IREN because, yeah, buddy, the money trade just comes in right there again. So there goes IREN, new highs of the morning here for IREN. Only saying that because we just dripped right in all morning there. Obviously, the highs are 66 bucks, but let's see. Thank you so much, Randy, for yet again another reload. Very, very impressive. Thank you, Randy, for that. I like you here on Fridays. Okay, yeah, it's really just been a happy, joy kind of a day. So let's just not change that right here. Make sure that we are able to get out of these moves when they're a little higher. So we'll take another piece out here at 50 and get a little less on what we're doing. Intel's highs, Google's starting to rip through and now as well. There's Intel all-time highs of 116 today. Wow, selling some at 90, not a good move. And but there it goes all the way to the upside. Selling some AMD at 418 also.
Profit taking anywhere.
Not a good move. Yeah, I mean, I take profits all the time.
Curious.
So you just look over and you look back and say, wow, left a couple of dollars on the table always. Okay, so Oracle going. Corning, I mean, this is the name that I had sold some shares this morning. I told you we got out of block and everything, and I was really hoping to put that money into something like this. Now I just have to maybe put it into IREN. So IREN just hovering around right now. This should be a good trade for us as well. We wrote down long 61s. It does dip into 59 there where you get stopped out, buy it back, and now it's nothing but love to the upside here. So yeah, man, so far so good over here. I was just saying to the guys, I can easily make certain numbers here, but the numbers that I'm making are just the goal easy. Like it's not enough to actually, even for myself, like consider being like a successful day trader as a job. I'm just trying to put up numbers that, just line the pockets a little bit here and trying to show you guys that if you can lever up and use more shares, this is kind of the stuff that you can do, right? So trying to make a living trading is definitely hard, and sometimes you take those baths, but for right now, everything's working out on a day like today, especially when it's risk on, right? All the ideas we had were longs. And IREN now. I'm going to take a piece out at 62 just in case, and then we'll wait. We're getting closer and closer to VWAP. Maybe now we'll just wait out for 62.75 or so, and then see if that one wants to continue to go a little bit higher. But yeah, all is good over here. We talked about Rivian a little bit earlier. That could be a look. I mean, if Tesla's ripping up, maybe there's some love here for Rivian today. We just had Randy here, and I was even saying, like, even Randy doesn't want to buy Rivian at these prices. So I'm going to hold out that he knows what he's talking about and wants this name back down near 10 or 11 bucks. So if he has patience with it and, he knows smartest guy about cars around here. I'm going to wait for these levels. He said 1020, so I mean he's looking.
Why 1020?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to find it out. I guess that's right here. That's this low right into there. So I think he's talking about 1020 back near the tariff lows would be one of my guesses there. So yeah, shout out to you, Randy. Looks like you might be right. Waiting for a lower price here on Rivian, down 2% today in a market that's up 1.5. So
yeah, and guess what? We just lost so I'm back into BM&R for the short side, but you just lost VWAP here on SLV for the first time of the day. I don't want this to be like yesterday, but I don't think this is like yesterday. The market's a little bit stronger, so if it does regain the volume weighted average price or hold a double bottom, like down in here at 73, I don't mind jumping back into it. But I'm back into BM&R. DraftKings, I like taking the shot there. I do like it a bit better had we been to the volume weighted average price, but DKNG didn't quite get there. So we grabbed it on a trend break, but you know me with the trend break, I'm usually gonna have a pretty tight stop. I'm looking to make, for minute 15, and I'm looking to get to VWAP. It's about 35 cents, so I really only want to risk about 15 in that particular spot. So I can't give it to the low of the day there in DKNG. It's one I want to give a couple of shots. But BM&R did come back into the short. It's the only place I was looking for the south side of a trade is because crypto looks incredibly weak. But we are going to go to my left.
Yeah. And if you're taking $3 a trade like you are, like I am on IREN, then why not join Trade the Pool, man? That's the reality for most traders. Capital can sometimes be a constraint. Trade the Pool changes that. Step into the U.S. equity markets with up to $200,000 in buying power without committing your own capital. Full access to stocks and ETFs, both long and short. Execution with precision and freedom, and freedom that serious traders expect. Your performance is measured by one standard: discipline, risk management, and consistent execution. Meet that standard and operate at scale. This is what I'm trying to tell you guys every day. No subscriptions, no ongoing obligations, just a clear path forward. For those ready to trade beyond your limitations, this is the next level. Visit tradethepool.com, one word, and when you sign up, use Trader TV to get 10%. One word, Trader TV. And there it is right there, man. I mean, Q's mentioned at $73 on the note. IREN mentioned at $61 on the note. So here we go. Thank you, Ramin, for this, again, flattering picture. We like that. And then right into here, what we talk about every day. There's Tesla at 412. I should have wrote down 415. I'll have to maybe keep adjusting that as we go. There's TQs, man. We have that 73 break right there. So there's the trade right there to the upside on TQs. We have IREN. You can see right now, IREN's at $63. CoreWeave is the one trade that we could have gone there. We talked about support. It was not a lock and key at all. CoreWeave today just keeps on going down. So let's check it out, and we're going to go to Adair in 1 second. Okay, so it's still around that 118. Let's see what winds up happening with CoreWeave. Don't like it, though. We already dipped into 114. Maybe a buy for the long term. All right, Adair, how's your morning been going?
Morning's been good, thank you, Sean. And if you're long USO, I suspect you've had a pretty good morning, too, because unfortunately we're hearing reports that there are, quote, sporadic crashes between Iranian armed forces and U.S. vessels in the Strait of Hormuz starting about an hour ago. This is being reported by Iranian state media, so do keep that in mind. But then we also have the U.S. military saying that they've disabled 2 ships. So both Iran and U.S. government, I guess, sources saying here that there is a back and forth between the U.S. and Iran this morning. Back to you.
Sweet Christmas, Rocket Lab. Yeah, 25% up, but yeah, you just saw that spike in USO up at the top. We saw resistance on USO all day long at 136, or all afternoon long, I should say, 136 to 135.5. If we see the same thing start to form, I think there's a good opportunity to possibly fade anything that goes out of hand. I'm going to look at Boyle and, what's that other one? It's Battle. Yeah, that's the other one. It's Battle. Whoops. I hate that there's a Boyle.to. It's just really annoying that it actually exists, because then it comes down to my drop down. If we make the same high, and it's just the fact that usually nat gas weaker than oil, people ask why I trade this all the time, generally speaking, has been in a downward trend and weaker than oil futures. So when you get a top in one, it tends to hold much better in Boyle. So if I see us fail that high right now in USO, you're not even at the top here in Boyle, and I can short that instead. But if we are going to get weak because that move up in oil, I'm back into BM&R, effectively where we had it off of the open. The same short as the open. like this range into the low of the day. But if we take out the 85, I want to jump away from that. And while we are dipping here, that brings to NVIDIA. Haven't been in NVIDIA today, but NVIDIA is bouncing off VWAP for the first time. It kind of took all morning, but it was a clean breakout trade. Wasn't looking breakout in NVIDIA. I actually like to dip into 210, which obviously, or 211 to 210 to 211. Obviously, you weren't going to get that. You had no chance to get that today on NVIDIA. There weren't a lot of dip buys to be had.
No, just only. I mean, the two names I'm in were good dip buys, but yeah, other than that, man. I mean, I also think
Tesla didn't dip either, so
no. Well, Tesla right off the open, it didn't dip, but it did come right into here, and it was at 9:15. That's the problem. So right there, boom. Just as Neil said, man, a lot of upside in today's market. I'm being very foolish and checking the long-term portfolio right now because we just saw what was going on there with Intel, and we see what's going on with AMD. We obviously, I think our largest holding is, we've talked about it, is either NVIDIA or Apple. It's one of the two for myself. It used to be Google, and then we sold some, so unfortunately for that. But yeah, Intel, just never thought we would have $100 per share on Intel, and it looks like that is
120.
What's coming in. Well, yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, 117 right now coming into play for Intel. I'm so glad that we had Brian Shannon on, and when we were just making fun of that 20-year, I think it was 30-year VWAP, as yeah, we made a lot of fun of Intel shareholders, and it was hilarious for a time, and now it's hilarious if you're not in it, because I mean, it's just booming right now to the upside. Wow, just to even put like 20 or 30 grand in it down there, wow, you'd be pretty nice right there. Vacations for life now. And if you have IREN right now, you might have a vacation for life as well, as this is now $4 back up to the money. We've seen some great people talking in the chat. We want to, yeah, let's go, Joe. Joe, a trader, very similar to me, man. We have a lot of similar traits on our trading. You can see, like, I'm just very specific, man. I'm only in two names here today, and it's, like I said to you guys before, it's really been working out for me. So you can always ask us about any of our trades and what we're in. You're long at 60-60? Okay, so close, Joe. So Joe's a dollar higher than me, but so far so good there, Joe. Joe's long $60.60 right now. So congratulations, Joe, man. You are one of us as well. There we go, man. David, thank you so much. Trader TV Appreciation Day. There we go, man. It's hard enough to make $100 around here. I told you that lots of times.
$100.
But there it is right there. Thank you so much for sending those through on Trader TV Appreciation Day on all sides of the screen. It's official holiday. Yeah, yeah, back and forth, man. Both sides of the screen, our side and your side. Glad that we're getting a lot of love today, you know, from you guys in the chat. And you know, what a great opportunity it's been. We had a great lesson yesterday. We continue to grow our team here, even though, you know, some of us aren't feeling that well. Still continue to come in every single day for you guys, put it out and put out these great opportunities. I'm away for a couple afternoons next week, and then I leave on Thursday to go to Minnesota. Yeah, we're in Minnesota, so
that's
really
right. Yeah,
and we're staying one night at the Mall of America, so that should be a lot of fun. We're ready to rock and roll.
That is the most like Manitoba sounding road trip ever, and
Yeah.
I love it. Like, I remember going, like, my sister went to Minnesota for taekwondo. I went to Minnesota for dance. Like, it's so Midwestern of you, Sean. I actually.
Yeah, I've never been there. I don't want to wear my Packers stuff.
Fun. No, don't do that. But have fun. Have fun at the Mall of America.
Yeah.
Or do wear your Packers stuff.
And it won't be, yeah, maybe. And it won't be a road trip, of course. We're flying. So, yeah, it's about 12 hours drive. Right there. There's Frank is in the building again. Oh my God, man, you guys are going crazy with us. Right now, another big dollar amount right there. Thank you so much to Big Frank there. Frank freaking Rizzo. Right now, thank you so much, Frank. We really appreciate that. I mean, you're you know, on a day like today with the trades we're putting up, you know, it's going to be hard to wipe this smile off my face. But there it goes again. And there's another one. We got another one. It's Mr. Zinc Man coming through there. Thank you so much to Other Zinc there in the chat. It hasn't loaded on my page yet, but as soon as it does.
There's no message, so you have to
there's no message. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Neil will have that one.
Other Zinc right
Man,
here.
you guys are like throwing down some cash over here today.
And you know what I love about it too?
Starbucks for all.
Whether it's going good or bad. I mean, I'm having a positive month and positive week, but today is actually my worst morning. Easily. On Friday, it is what it is. But you know what? As long as the thing about trading is, as long as you try to keep your losers
that's all that it is
in the pocket, so that, you know, one trade can make up the day. If you have a good trade, that should make up for multiple bad ones. And you don't want it to be the other way around. Like, that's all that really matters. And that's what I love. We got all these super chats in here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We're going to just, and it's all paid forward. Like, this all goes back into the show. Like, sometimes they will do, like, burgers and stuff like that. But it just, that's how you get, like, all of the cameras and pretty much everything you see around here just goes right back into the show. We appreciate you. Others Inc.
Thank you so much.
Let's go. Adara, let's go, I assume. Well, that's the only A that we have around here, right? So Adara, let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
I would assume so anyways.
Let's go. Okay, thank you so much there. Adara, are you trading anything today, or just, I know it's been kind of a little bit of a lighter news day so far?
I am, yeah. I've been, CoreWeave did not work for me, but I'm currently in an AAPL short that's working. I'm also currently in a SanDisk short that's working. And SanDisk, as of right now, yeah, I mean, it's going okay. Got involved at 1451. I have been adding. It's like a very specific strat that I'm working on, so we'll see if it works. But yeah, I think honestly, guys, the main thing I've learned is just find a strategy that works for you. Don't be afraid to lose sometimes, trying to develop it. And yeah, be true to yourself. As you would to your girl or guy. Yeah, shout out to Beach Boys. But also, I do have some news here while I'm here. We have comments coming from the acting Labor Secretary Sonderling saying the Fed should cut rates, because I guess everybody's now saying that.
What song was that?
Be True to Your School by the Beach Boys. I saw Brian Wilson live when I was a kid, so like RIP. I'm just a huge Beach Boys fan.
I actually don't know that song.
No,
I know some Beach Boys tunes, but I don't know that one.
Kokomo.
Obviously, everyone.
Yeah, shout out to everybody there, and it's good to see the honesty over there from Neil, and I like that, man. It's all
that's
all
like
what
every
it's about, man.
every single day. Like you don't want traders that only talk about when
their wins. No,
right?
exactly.
Like you've got to be able, but you also have to be able to keep it into perspective.
It's about being honest, and which is why I try to tell people about what kind of P&Ls to aim for and things like that. When I see people going crazy up there, I get nervous.
More important to be honest with yourself as a trader. That's That's the most important thing. Like, it doesn't really matter. You can do whatever you want. Like, you can say whatever you want, blah, 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 blah. Like, who cares? But if you're not honest with yourself as a trader, it's just not going to work out for you. That's what you have to be able to do. It's the most important thing. Obviously, being honest with
just in life. I mean, have some integrity every once in a while.
In everything.
Exactly.
Because so many traders will only...
Well, so many people, forget about traders, so many people are unrealistic.
I keep with the trading.
You might as well. Yeah, I mean, I think integrity in everything obviously is. Yeah, I mean, if without integrity,
especially fantasy football.
Yeah, just in life.
No, you know why.
Fantasy football, you don't need integrity, man.
You know why I'm saying that.
Why? I don't know. I haven't been following that pool.
Oh, our league is.
Yeah, there's not much integrity in that league, which is why I disagree with that. Okay, here we go.
That's my joke about it.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thoughts on Poet right here. If you don't know it, we're going to cover it right here.
I like
Poet. 1095. Okay, they did get that canceled deal with Marvell, but you could see now today. I don't know if it's back in favor with one of the with something here, but Poet right now. I have to actually look up Poet. I don't even know what that deal with Marvell was all about there, but we did have a nice move up to 17, back down into $7. Right now goes Poet, right? So
lose the deal.
Yeah, they did lose a deal with Marvell. Yeah, that's what I'm showing you. And it's right here, $17 down to $7. They're on that, and then now right back up. So we'll see if Adara's got any news there on Poet.
Nothing new on Poet.
Okay, and then right here, another $2. We want to say thank you so much to Jaka right there, regardless of the amounts you guys are super chatting. I mean, it's been fantastic. I'm going to shout out everybody again for all that super chat. But yeah, there's Intel. Yeah, congratulations on those calls. Needless to say, I mean, 500% gain on calls. Absolutely unbelievable. We want to thank you for all of that. And because these are still hanging out, and by the way, man, the market's still ripping to highs. We're still long everything right now. We want to give oops, that's probably too much. We want to give a big shout out to everybody that's dropped these super chats there today. Thank you so much to Greg right there. He's been making some money there on Rocket Labs. Hopefully you making some money there. Thank you so much to Dave as well there. Trader TV Live Appreciation Day. We love this right here. Thank you so much to Frank freaking Rizzo right there again, man. We like that one for sure. What's up to my paisan over there? And then other Zinc as well, dropping that hunch. So we really want to thank everybody for that. That's absolutely huge. Neil's going to be organizing Burger Day when Sia is back. So we're excited for that one. All right, good show today. Yeah, let's go with right there and see what's going on. 94%. Sorry to the 6% of you out there. Hopefully you'll turn that frown upside down at some point. And if you don't like our show, that's perfectly fine, because we have a much better one coming for you in just 35 minutes with Joe and Sharif, as Sharif's there pumping iron. I'll be joining him right after this. You can join Neil for his lesson of the day, or you could just watch the lessons that are being given to you live here every single day. And here goes the Qs. Nice little upside play again. I'm going to take this opportunity to offer it out at 76, and there we go. We get a fill, and now we'll wait to see how high this one wants to fly. It's 10:22 already, and man, we're having a good time today. Haven't really been watching, just printing and chatting. Great, Jesse. Similar. We're just sitting here doing the exact same thing as you. So, yeah, let's go back over the desk with Adara.
Time flies, and so do small caps. Let's start here with Robo AI. This ticker is the very vowel-heavy AIIO, announcing they're going to be acquiring 100% of the equity interest in Neurovia. Next up, AAPL, Antelope Enterprise. And I love this press release here, guys. They announced that they have $190,000 in realized gains from, and these are their quotes, their genius plan for managing Bitcoin treasury reserves. They've also announced a $95,000 buyback. That is AEHL. Last but not least, TRAW, Traws Pharma. They're advancing potential clinical candidates for hantavirus treatments. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe, stick with us. We're going to send you back over to the guys.
All right, almost a weekend.
Dara, it is almost a weekend.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? The weekend doesn't really mean anything anymore. Because
What? What?
I'm just saying, when you get older, you don't have as much free time on the weekend as you
Oh
think.
man, I don't want free time, man. I'm loaded every weekend with family events.
That's
man.
sort of what I was getting at. Like, it just turns into, like, I look at my calendar, and it's like the calendar's not much different because it's still full with stuff. Like, it's just usually I'm pretty busy on the weekend.
Okay.
At the end of the day, it's just you're busy with different things, which is great, which is fun.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, there we go. Awesome.
Which is fun.
All right,
like,
good.
it's very different. Like, I used to enjoy, as a kid, sleeping in till 11 o'clock and all that stuff. I'm up at 6:30 on Saturdays.
Why so late? Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, but I don't even. That's just my daughter gets up.
That's what I'm saying. Why so late, man? I mean, yeah, I'm 6 o'clock probably. I can't stop.
It's crazy. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
That should be a poll. There. Neil is an imposter. No, he's not.
no,
an
but
imposter. He's here every day.
I do sleep in. I'm up at 4:30 on weekdays.
There you
I
go.
do get
There
extra
you go.
sleep.
See, there you go. So yeah, weekends are awesome
I do sleep
again.
in a couple of hours
All right,
on the weekend. It's just that everything is always so busy. But you know what? I got a great assistant this year. The other coach has already told me that I don't have to pick up the equipment tomorrow. And actually, no, on Sunday, which is, I'm like, thank you. That's very nice of you. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to my parents, see my moms for Mother's Day, do brunch or whatnot. So I couldn't make the equipment pickup on Sunday. Yeah, the other coach is going to be able to do it. So I got to thank them.
Nice.
To take my second shot or third shot here in NVIDIA, we're just not holding VWAP. We're holding the trend. Come to my chart for a second. We come to the chart for a quick second. Yeah, Fabian and Andre are just chatting over there. But trend line break, but I was in with anticipation instead of the actual close above the trend line. So now you're starting to get the buy. Gonna nibble in here, and we're gonna actually add as it's holding above the trend line instead of as it's trying to hold the trend line there for sure. Adam Deleuze is back. There we go, Adam back. I'm going to be in London, Adam. Just throwing that one out there. Always watching in the background. Great trading today again, and great seeing many doing so well.
Great, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that, Adam. Thank you for the shout out there again, man. All right, man. Yeah, Adam was great, man. I spent time with him in London, and it was fantastic. So shout out to Adam Deleuze there. And yeah, good, man. You're going to London. That's going to be fun, man. I think that's be a lot of fun.
I haven't been in years.
Yeah. No, we are lucky enough around here that we get sponsored trips from the company. So yeah, Neil's going to be going to London. I've already been there. It's a great time. All right, let's keep on going, man. Appreciate the show. We appreciate you over there with another super chat just flying through right now. So thank you so much to DJ right here, DJ J808 right now. Absolutely monstrous right there. Thank you for that. $20. Another one right here from Nico saying that he's made some money today as well with Moderna. So good job on that one there. We also do have, here we go, to Wolf. Thank you so much. Chat membership donations are good or better. I 100% agree with that. And here's some whoopsies, right over here. Here's a donation right here from David there again. Sent 10 super chats, 10 memberships right there. Allows you to get Sharif's morning note. So you can definitely have a quick look over there if you're looking for some more information. Yeah, so another cash out here on the Qs. You could see, man, we're just stone cold chilling again here today. IREN, $2 in the money. But that was good out. We have like very, very small. Actually, you know what? I might just get out of IREN. Let me get another piece out right here at 45 and just worry about it now moving forward. So IREN right now just doing what it's doing. We'll see if it wants to continue to go lower. Take out another piece. 5% left on IREN right now. So we'll see what winds up happening. And less than 10% left on the Qs, unfortunately. But it's been a great day. Like I said, it's very easy to make certain amounts of money, harder to make others. It's like every time you sort of up your shares, you got to make sure that you have a strategy that works out for you to be able to do that. So watch out now. As again, we're just trying to follow our notes, man. We have IREN here at 61 and we have Qs at 73. Everything else didn't hit. I wouldn't mind getting into some Tesla if that winds up coming through here, TSLA. So if that one winds up hitting, we could do that. But right now, I'm still waiting for that 200 period to come through. So Tesla's going to have to take a little bit of a dump. And if that happens, then obviously the NASDAQ will be down as well. So 420, a good little spot for me to wait for now on the NASDAQ. Yeah, as soon as we get options on this platform, it'll be big too. Oh, there, I'll clear that out.
By the way,
we'll get going pretty soon on that one. Ready for Joe coming up in
coming very close.
11 o'clock.
Well, relatively, because
yeah. The last time I was told that, we were told like first quarter last year, and I announced it on the show, and it was completely wrong. So, yeah, hopefully options coming soon.
The first indication is already there because you can actually sort of see that they have them in the drop down. So at least we know.
Yeah, like I said, it's been there for over a year.
It's been there. We know that it's eventually. Well, but the thing is, we've been talking about options for like decades with the firm, and it just hasn't really. It's a matter of time. It's just more complex, right? Like you start thinking about like the nature of like risk and sort of managing it and the data that goes into it. It's a lot to add to the platform. But took 3 swings at NVIDIA, not taking any more, and we're back into BM&R because it broke the trend. And this is always going to be. Oh, I guess I only got partially filled. Yeah, okay. Anyways, but as long as it breaks the trend line, I'm going to jump into it. Broke the trend, confirmed under that bar, so jump back into the short. First short good, second short not, third short is working, but back to the low of the day is going to be the plan of action. Just go back to, so like no matter how it's going, you just take your normal setups, and if we get LOD, that's going to be 21.5. So we'll jump back into this. Hopefully I can get picked up at VWAP there, and then we'll get it low of the day. Just relative weakness overall in crypto. So as long as that stays, I guess these will remain a short all day long. As I said, Bitcoin, we've been saying it all morning long, Bitcoin can't hold 80,000 at all. Like IBIT, even now, like it was trending higher, we just lost the 80,000. This is the reason I short BM&R and not Bitcoin. Like see that? And then you look over at ETHA, that's only now breaking the volume weighted average price, whereas BM&R, for whatever reason, it just is what it is. It was making lower lows when you'd already made a bottom in ETH and just relatively weak. The treasury plays, hey, they're good for leverage on up days, and when they're relatively strong, they're going to do much better for you. Like MSTR is going to be great relative to Bitcoin on the way sometimes to the upside, but when it comes down, you know which one's going to be better short. Maybe this is boding well for our good friend JKL and that MSTR. It's got to be.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, 79.9. Yeah, under 80,000. I think he's probably a little short.
Well, actually,
above that.
MSTR is strong.
Okay. Yeah, so we end our IREN trade right there. We'll just hit a sirens up as it broke 361. We got a piece out there at 61.60, then again at 61. Now you're starting to go back to the high side of it, but that's fine. And then now because I'm waiting. So by the way, just for IREN, I am going to take more if it comes back into 59 again. I was thinking it was maybe going to do that, which is why we got out. But now it looks like it does want to go back up. And it's 10:30. I'll leave you guys at the highest spot. We're going to go just 2 for 2 today. Only 2 symbols traded there today. Everyone's always wondering what Obi's doing today. He was on TTD, so it looks like I think he was short there on TTD. So the trade desk there today. I don't know exactly. I'm just giving you. It's probably had something like that, or he was long. But anyways, that was a name that he was trading there today. 2 symbols for me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So for Neil, so not that many there. Joseph always wants us to mention his trades. He got a good one there today. IREN. Oh yeah, that's right. You got IREN and IBIT there. Joseph and Adara sort of talked about some of the names that she's in AppLovin. Ooh, Adara, AppLovin, Microsoft, SanDisk, and CoreWeave. Dancing with the devil. I like those trades. That's for sure, man. Those are big ones. Let's have a quick look at SNDK real quick. We talked. Wow. Oh boy. Jesus. This is something that Joe and I just having fun. You know, when Joe and I are on the show, obviously Joe's a great guy. We had a lot of fun. And 2 weeks, was it last week? No, it's maybe 2 weeks ago. It was last week. So I just look over at these prices, okay? We wrote down here, we just had some fun on the Monday. We wrote down Google 350 was Joe's pick. Google's at 400. Okay, Amazon 262. This is last Monday, okay? And of course, now we're over earnings. So Amazon maybe not that impressive. It's only in the money $10, okay? SanDisk, and again, I was just like, oh, SanDisk is reporting, we're gonna take it. SanDisk, oops, Blue Ocean, nope. SanDisk, on last Monday, the price is right, you know? Right here, shout out to that. The price is wrong, you know, if you watch Happy Gilmore. 1039 for SanDisk. It's 50% in 2 weeks right there. Like that is insane right now. Not only that, but we were screaming to go ahead and buy that on earnings when it went down to $1,000 there as well. When we were doing our recap show, where the hell's $1,000? Oh, I can't even find where that is anymore. Right into there. So that is just like 50% in I guess 2 weeks. Absolutely unbelievable. Congratulations to everybody smarter than me, because that is an awesome play for anybody long in SanDisk and then SanDisk. And then also Intel, we got that great super chat as well this morning from Trader that was absolutely running Intel to the high side. And then, wow, Advanced Micro Devices, man, getting some out at 418. I should have done the Austin 316, and thank God we didn't follow that rule, because now you're up $100 from there. And just again, it's been such a big day. We want to thank everybody for that. And again, Derek, thank you so much. We just covered this RXT. Well, we just got this right now. They have an agreement with AMD, so let's definitely check that out again for all of y'all. And then Greg, thank you so much for the hunch right there. Thank you so much, David, for the same thing. Thank you so much to Frank freaking Rizzo over there, man. We'll buy some chicken parmesans with those. Thank you so much to Other Zinc, man. You're always here. David, I mean, it's these memberships that mean a lot, right, to us as well. $5 a membership. Thank you so much for that. $50 there. Just goes right back into Google anyways. And then right there, appreciate the show. And we just had that super chat about RXT. So we can quickly have a look over there. And
I don't think we pulled that one up.
No, Rackspace. No, I didn't even realize there was a deal here with AMD. So another $5 name. Wow, up 40% today. Rackspace. Maybe Adara, we can employ you here to figure out what's going on with RXT, because a name that we didn't cover. So there we go, man. RXT high side.
Yeah, so this is as of yesterday morning. So as of yesterday morning, they reported earnings and they signed a memorandum of understanding with AMD. Seems pretty vague. It's going to be establishing a new category of governed enterprise AI infrastructure. So very tech-speaky deal with AMD. Again, not brand new. This came out yesterday morning.
I mean, look at that level. Like, it's too bad, because like yesterday, there's the break. Yeah, we've always talked about, like, I mean, first of all, you can there's lots of levels on this, it looks like, but yeah, there it was. So we really like names that are breaking out from multi-week or month or whatever highs. You know, check out Corning, and pretty much anything in the data center space has been impressive today so far. So.
And continuing, like, it's just, you buy the dips on those when they even present themselves to you.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
He's been doing, and that's the reason IREN. Why. Like, you look for things that haven't gone yet, and that's why we're talking. That's what we've been.
Well, if you want to dip, CoreWeave is down huge.
Was it not Celsius? Constellations.
Oh, CEG. Yeah.
That looks like a good one. Vistra,
that might be down.
Vistra, not so much. But certainly Constellation. So Vistra is just not as good of a chart if we're looking at those. Before we go to Adara, now we're going to go to Adara. I like trend breaks, and I've been waiting for silver to look like it's made a base. So with holding higher lows before, now it's just holding the low. The dip to pull back into here Like there's a long time before you get into 72.5. If it does get there, that would be a level to look at, but trend break could be incoming as we're going to go to the desk with Adair.
Yeah, so to let you guys know, keep an eye on this SABS. Unfortunately, we know the hantavirus concerns are existing, and so the market is looking for a hantavirus play because that is how the market is. This SAB Biotherapeutics is being called by some people online the quote-unquote best hantavirus play because finding a treatment for this condition could apparently take a decade, and SABS already reportedly has some kind of existing basis for a treatment. Again, this is basically pure social media speculation. Under 1 million shares traded in SABS last time I checked a couple of minutes ago, but a name to be aware of. Back to you.
I remember hearing something about Moderna possibly having.
Yeah, we got a super chat from Moderna.
Yeah, something that they could have potentially down the line for hantavirus. Because I feel like if that stock gets anything else other than COVID,
are we worried about that virus? Has more people got that virus?
I don't. Yeah, like I don't think that everything that I've read on it is like this is nothing to be terribly concerned about. Obviously, hearts go out to anyone that it was actual. A few people lost their lives on that cruise, and it is incredibly serious if you catch it. But it doesn't look like it's as crazy transmissible as easily, at least from what I've read. But that doesn't mean the market can't react to it if you can find some names out there that haven't gone. I only say Moderna because everyone's always looking for an excuse for that to squeeze, right? And Moderna is squeezing. There you go. Apparently, it is squeezing.
Let me see what's going on here with Moderna or AMC. This weekend's a big weekend for the Katina family. The wife is going to the Billie Eilish concert that's now out in theaters, and I'm going to. Same night, we're going to go see Mortal Kombat 2, a recent PlayStation 5 game that we bought, and my son wants to go watch that movie. So that's a Saturday night in the Katina house.
Hold on.
Is that yes, exactly. Although
I asked for
he plays with Omni-Man in the Mortal Kombat there. So
I'm a Sub-Zero.
Yeah, I use
Sub-Zero. It's weird that one is Scorpion because I'm pretty sure I even said I was a Sub-Zero guy.
CoreWeave. Yeah, I love Sub-Zero, and I still do pretty well at that game, despite what I have these old man hands like Sharif mentions all the time for himself. Okay, here we go. IBIT. IBIT coming in a little bit here. Came in into VWAP and then broke higher. Just seeing it on some scanners here for IBIT as that continues to go a little higher right now. You know, one thing that we hadn't looked at, my net's basically stayed the same now for the last hour, pretty much. Well, no, since we've been in these positions, let's call it the last half hour. USO, that was sort of what I meant to coming in right there. So USO back into 134. We'll see what this weekend brings. I mean, we did have that sort of note from Rubio today saying that he thought the deal could be near imminent, if not even today. So oil, I don't know, just doing its own thing. We only have 20 minutes left before we go over to the midday show, but it looks like the Nasdaq's trying to climb a little bit back upside. We did take some outs at the 50 period, at the 25 period moving average. Now let's just wait for the day's high, and if we get that, we get that, and then we'll come back around 12:30, 1 o'clock and see if there's any other opportunities to get into as well. Bloom Energy, someone just mentioned that was been dropping. And these are, yes, it has. Where's Sharif, my guy, right now? That was $300 into 250. We talked about sometimes buying some names at some decent valuation, or on some decent pullbacks in spaces that we like. Okay, maybe now I don't feel so bad about missing IREN. Maybe we should get into some BE here, as that's pulled back real nice off of that. And, you know, please don't look at PEs or anything. You either believe in the name or you don't. This one does have a gap fill all the way back to 190, though, on Bloom Energy. Might be a little bit early, but there you go. 3 days off of earnings all the way to the downside. I think that was earnings day right there. Okay, we'll go over to Adair, and then we'll be right back here for the last 20.
Time to look at these sectors. I do want to let you guys know a couple housekeeping things. President Trump set to speak at the Rose Garden at 12 p.m. today. I'm seeing some sources say 12:15, but his schedule as of this morning said 12, so I'm going to go with 12. We also have, as well, just more, unfortunately, shots and gunfire sounds being heard in the Middle East. So it looks like this back and forth that we heard reported from both the U.S. and Iran is continuing. Let's talk about these sectors. Lots of red, honestly. Like a lot of the things that are strong are very strong, but there are a lot of sectors or stocks that are struggling. So let's start with those. Health tech. Thermo Fisher down 2.5% today, but this whole sector getting hit pretty hard. Commercial services to the downside. Consumer services has some names that are red, including Booking Holdings and McDonald's. Then you've got tech services. I mean, Google, bright spot here. They did eclipse $400 earlier today, but other names in this sector are incredibly weak. We've got Adobe down 2.5%, CRM down 4%, Apple Oven down 10% on earnings day 2. Then you've got electronic tech, which is really strong as a group. Finance is strong. Producer manufacturing is strong. Consumer durables is strong. Health services is strong. So as I said, guys, lots of names that are weak, but maybe just as many that are having these outsized moves. And the names that are strong are up quite significantly. Back to you. Do make sure to like and subscribe.
I thought it was 1.5.
There's a small IPO today, Odyssey Therapeutics. It's very small, 280,000. And next week, Cerberus is $4 billion on Thursday, next Thursday. And then next Wednesday, Fervo Energy. Here, I don't know, I'm looking up. I can literally just show you.
Energy, okay.
You've got, these are the big ones. Fervo Energy, I don't know anything about them, but where's Cerberus? This is the big one on Thursday. That's massive. $4 billion, AI infrastructure, that's what you want. So that's easily the biggest or probably the best opportunity IPO that we've had in a while, and maybe one of the best ones we'll have until we get SpaceX, obviously. And we're going to get SpaceX sometime in the next couple of months, but until then, just patiently wait for a couple of other small ones. I want to keep taking reps. I don't know if this one's the one today being a therapeutics one, I'll probably stay away from that. Not really that interested. If you're not like drone, AI, nuclear energy, like something along those lines gets me more excited. Crypto, I guess, sometimes would be pretty interesting as well. But you want either big size, so good liquidity, or you want it to be in like the right space with a bunch of hype around it. So trend break in SLV, waiting for VWAP to get the first out. And if we get up there, we'll try to reload it and down in the 73 range. I mean, really nothing's changed with BMNR. We're back in at the same price as before. Going to look for reloads off VWAP and then play it into the low of the day. Still that weakness over there in crypto that we've been able to find. Someone just tagged me saying Intel hasn't really gone to VWAP. So I can maybe look at this, but that's 2 points, which I don't like. If it bounces, makes a high, hold that trend, it comes in a third time, then I guess you go for the trend line there. Otherwise, maybe wait for VWAP, right? Like if it's a 3-minute chart, kind of wait for it to make 3 points before joining a trend or looking for a trend break. So waiting for VWAP on Intel. I say this all the time about profit taking. Like you sell something off of the highs on any stock. And if your goal in the long term is to get back in, like, do you ever get back in? I'm in a now what moment for ARM, but I'm trying to be patient about this because we're still not dipping in anywhere near this support. It's all well and good that you sell some out in front of that. I think I got 237 something on ARM to trim 10%, but we're just not going lower. It's still weak. Like ARM's at the low of the day with the market at the high, so maybe it does fall apart. But for now, I'm still getting a little bit antsy because once you get a few days after those earnings, sometimes you don't get the dip very long. We saw a dip that lasted 10 minutes in SNDK. In Micron, it lasted like a month or two, and you never really know. AMD didn't last very long on the dip. ARM, so far you got a couple of days without breaking down. You might have to adjust come next week if we're still looking at 210 instead of 200.
Yeah, I haven't been at 200 for ARM. Hopefully we'll be able to get filled on that one. We'll take another opportunity to get out on the TQs on that little bit of a bump up there. I'm trying to find some more things to trade. So again, thank you everybody for all the super chats today. It means a lot right there. And okay, so Palantir right now, yeah, you guys want to look at this. I mean, down 1.24%. We said, I mean, Adair just went over all those software names, and until this gets corrected, man, and there's a little bit more love back in for software names, then we got to wait. And I mean, Palantir continues to get contracts. They had a great, huge quarter. Let's check out Big Bear AI. Again, they're all kind of the same thing right now. It's just everybody's looking. I just told you SanDisk is up 50% in a week and a half, 2 weeks. So, Micron continues to go higher. These names they're not the shiny spoon right now. So you got to be careful with what you're doing right there. So we're going to watch out for that one. And again, ARM is a great one to wind up buying there. CoreWeave was down 12% the last time I looked. Still down. So this goes now SSR. It looks like that 118, and again, look, this still remains to be a strong level there, the 200 period moving average. So it comes right back up there. We wrote down 118. It turns out that it was not the 118 long, it was the 118 short that printed twice. There it goes right there, breaking through 118 all the way down to 113. There's the bounce right back up to 118. Again, now down, could be basing out. Watch out for CoreWeave possibly basing out down there right now. So that would be that. We've only taken the Qs and IREN today. So, got taken out there at the lows, bought it back, was a good trade. Still want to make more on IREN today. I'm trying to buy 59.50s if it comes in. So that might get hit as the show goes on. I won't be here, but I have a stop at 58.75 if IREN does come back in for that. We'll end the day at the highest spot because the Qs right now are back to the highest level of the day. SoFi, we talked about dip buying good companies, man. I mean, the last time I got filled on this was $18, so that is way out of the money. I don't know why my daily chart's not loading up there, but SoFi just not good, man, down to 16. And we're just playing with smaller amounts on this. SoFi is a name, and I don't, you can always say, well, I'm going to hold this forever, or, this is my forever play, and therefore you still want to get your money in at right spots. And, so right now SoFi, didn't get it in right at 18. Don't have any plans of selling it. This chart's obviously not loading up there. So JP Morgan with some controversy recently as well with some of their management. It's some really funny stories if you want to look that up as well. But there goes JP Morgan, 309 down to 304. I think this is a buy. I know it was one of Joe's picks. I like JP Morgan. It did have some moves down. It's like the largest bank that I own. So definitely like it. It's good because we're able to buy it down here around, I think we tweeted it out when we bought it. It was right into here, these lows. We're long this name like around 230, maybe even lower than that. It went up, and then during this tariff tantrum, I remember I was like, oh my God, what have I done? Why did we buy JP Morgan if this is what's gonna happen? And then it just took off. And yeah, we had cleared some out up here, but still, this is another name with the dividend and everything in the banking system. Definitely want to stay long there a little bit on JP Morgan. All right, TQs, and that's it for me. So it's 10:48 right now, and I'm pretty slow rolling right now.
Usually do this when we're at 1%, not when we're at 1.6%. Because usually like the line we use is, hey, the Nasdaq's seen 1, can we see 2?
Yeah.
The other day, I felt like it was inevitable. Just the momentum that we had going on. But we're going to do a quick poll. I'm pretty sure if the answers aren't overwhelmingly yes, I'll be surprised. But it's just simple. Well, the NASDAQ hit 2% today. It's a Friday, so sometimes you get less extension. We're already at 1.6. But throw your ones in the chat if you think that you think the NASDAQ is going to hit 2% today. I suspect we're going to get like a 90% or 80 to 90%, which it'd be surprising if we have anything more than that. I want to see if there's anybody that bullish. And then 2s, of course, implicitly 2 is going to be a no. Kind of inherently telling you what we think is going to happen. But no. What, really?
Money talk.
55%? 50%? What's with all this? There's a lot of no's.
What are you voting, yes or no?
I already voted, yeah. I was literally saying, I didn't even say no until I've been talking for 40 seconds. But yeah, it looks like it's 50-50 when we're 0.4% away.
Yeah.
0.4%. Will it hit 2%? I didn't say we have to close at 2%. I'm just saying hit 1 if you think we're going to get to 2%. Let's go to Adair. It's time for Money Talks. See what the U.S. dollar is doing. Dollar weakness is going to help that, potentially.
For sure.
U.S. dollar is kind of hanging out here, continuing to trade. As of today, we basically traded entirely within yesterday's range to the downside. And again, as I mentioned here, we have yet to retest that 97.6 level that we bounced off of 2 Fridays ago and then again on this Wednesday. If you take a look at the weekly chart here, DXY poised for its second straight red week, and I do think that 97.6 level becomes even more apparent. But let's talk about economic numbers. You can find these visuals here. Just to recap these, I posted these right after the numbers came out at 8:30 and 10 a.m. respectively. But at 8:30 a.m., non-farm payrolls coming in here at 115,000, stronger than 65,000 expected. Unemployment rate in line with estimates. Participation rate mostly in line with estimates. Now, average hourly earnings, both month over month and year over year, both slightly weaker than expected, but either in line with or above what we saw for the prior month. Now let's take a look here at the 10 a.m. numbers here, University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment. This was interesting. So the consumer sentiment print was lower than what we were expecting, 48.2 versus 49.5 expected. But 1-year inflation expectations and 5-year inflation expectations also lower. So consumers are concerned apparently, but they're not too concerned about inflation specifically, which is kind of an interesting look here. At least they don't see inflation as high as we thought they might be seeing it. Here is the rate expectation for that June 17th, 2026 meeting. It's over a month away. We're still seeing very likely that we're going to have rates held in place, even though we have comments from different members of the administration, including, actually, as of this morning, acting Labor Secretary Sonderling, saying that they see the likelihood of a rate cut. So here's the CME FedWatch tool. Going all the way to December 2027, we're, as of right now, not seeing any rate cuts, but of course that can always change. Back to you.
I'm now trying to find tickets here for WWE is coming in Friday, August 21st, right here. So there's the ring. What am I looking here? Ringside. What am I, Joe over here? How much is ringside going to cost me on WWE? There's not even anything even ringside here. What about these ones? Right here. How much is that a ticket? Oh, just $1,000 a ticket. So not too bad there. Hey man, I'll take 5 right there. All 5 of these. No, $1,000 just to show you how crazy some of these sporting events are. I'm more likely to sit like somewhere up into here. What are these tickets going for right there? Oops, that's $700.
You've been to WrestleMania before. Like, what were you paying in?
Oh, we went to WrestleMania when it was here. Hogan, Rock, Triple H, Ric Flair. Oh my God! I mean, there was so many good names, so many good events here in Toronto with WWE. Toronto and Madison Square Garden, like New York and Toronto, are like hotbeds for wrestling. But how much were you paying back then? I don't know. $70. I don't know.
I mean, we're doing the World Series.
Look at the Jays and everything, right? I mean, those tickets have now gone parabolic. But
we used to.
Like
I remember my dad selling playoff tickets in '80. Shoot, what year was it? No, it wasn't 80. It was 90. Was it 92?
Probably, yeah. Well, 92 or 93, I guess.
It was. I think it was like the NLCS or something. It was against Oakland. ALCS. I think it was against Oakland, and we're like, oh my goodness, we shouldn't go. We should sell those tickets. And then I look back.
Yeah, you're like, what have I done?
What did we do?
Yeah.
Why didn't we go to that game? We're sitting in the 500s every single time, and you know the section that we sat in was the game that Canseco hit the bomb.
Yeah, I knew
and it was like 3 or 4, I guess, rows away from where.
Yeah. Oh man,
it was the first time anyone had actually hit a home run into the 500s and Skydome history.
That's why we had that conversation about paying ticket prices, right? I mean, you only get so many times to go to things, and I don't.
It was a few hundred. I think it was like a few hundred, maybe.
Yeah, but back then, what I'm saying is like this year at the for the World Series tickets. You had to pay a lot, but definitely worth it because who knows the next time they'll be there. It doesn't look like this year, but fingers crossed, hopefully it is settled down right there. But we got to figure out what every day we don't have.
I don't think we're going to the World Series.
Okay, well, we'll see. Maybe, you never know. Baseball's a weird thing, man. There's been teams that were like in last place. I think there's some examples. It wasn't the Brewers, but it was somebody a couple years ago that had this epic run. Was it the Royals? I can't remember who it was, but they wound up making a huge move. I think it was literally from last to first. But sports are different now because they are dominated by the few teams that have where's that money thing that we have around here?
But just the Yankees in Tampa look so good.
Oh yeah, Tampa. That's the thing about Tampa, man. They're doing it with $0, and it's amazing to be able to do that. Like, talk about having smart management. Okay, yesterday was Spanish, and those pulled chicken tacos. I mean, you gave it a 9 too. I wouldn't disagree with a high rating.
It was the best. Oh my God, one of the best lunches.
Yeah, yesterday was hard to.
It was way
hard to disagree with what that was today. I think today is going to be a little bit more of a disappointment, but we'll see. This is interesting. It's a Thai flag. I feel like this is going to be tilapia with some lipstick on it. Thai green curry fish.
What kind of fish? It just says fish.
I just had something in my throat there. I think that was that was a little bit of, bile or something just picked up there. Thai green curry fish. Hey, maybe it's tasty. I don't want to throw shade on that, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be Thai tilapia green curry. So I will be probably joining Joe or whoever else may be getting food from across the street. Steamed jasmine rice. Neil getting that shakes. Green curry tofu for vegetables. So tofu there. I don't know what exactly that means as a vegetable. I don't know what tofu, is that a vegetable? Thai mixed green salad with lemongrass vinaigrette. That should be a good one. But you know what? You're not going to. That's what's for lunch, anyways. It should be good. Maybe we'll. If I'm back in time and I have my plate, I'll show you guys what it is. Maybe I'll tweet out a picture of it. I could start tweeting out the lunches every day if you guys want to, right there. But there's a super chat. I'm bullish on the M8. Check the link I sent you guys in chat. Can you guys send links in chats? I don't know if I don't think those will go. Links? I don't think those will go through. I don't think you can either.
I think you can.
You have, yeah, but I don't think people can't. All right, there it is. Okay, that's the same super chat. Did we get another one there I wanted to check out? Oh, yeah, $100. Yeah, we're loaded with those today. And I don't know, M8, we could definitely check that out. There's been a crowd. Okay, we didn't cover that one. Yeah, we could talk about that. Thank you so much to David for the $100 and the memberships. Sharif just sat down here. The membership gets you that morning note, so we want to say thank you to him and to everybody for checking that out. Other Zinc, Frankie freaking Rizzo, and Other Zinc coming through there. And there was another $100 super chat. We want to thank all of you for that. But there it is there. I am that bullish, M8. Are you talking about the money supply? Maybe that's what you're talking about right there. So shout out to you there, Casro.
Could be slang for mate, like M8, mate. Like
Meat?
Friend, mate. Like.
Oh, I am that bullish, mate. Maybe.
Yeah, mate isn't friend.
I think it might be a money supply thing, but yeah, thank you so much for all of that one there as we get ready to see throw it over to the midday show again right there. And
there's
thoughts on crowd. I'm gonna get out of
second
TQs.
IPO, by the way. I put it into the chat. It wasn't just, but it's also it's Mobi and Odyssey, ODTX and MOBI, but they're both medical ones, so I'm not that interested in either. But the thoughts on was CrowdStrike, right?
I believe so. Yes, it was 100%.
I wish I had more thumbs so I could give a 4 thumbs up.
Yeah.
I would feel much better, and I'm talking on book because I bought dips here in Crowd when it was a software Mageddon, or what do we get? I don't know.
Yep.
Whatever. Or the Claude.
I'd take that.
I think we're calling it the Claude trouncing or whatever.
Claude Mageddon?
Claude Mageddon. There's all these words that get thrown out. I just feel much better about, whether it's cybersecurity or maybe like a softie, as opposed to a lot of the other software names that have been getting trounced. This is a great one. I think you're just headed back into the highs. I think a lot of times when people are panicking in a given sector or just over a given theme is the best way to put it, right? You sort of look for, okay, well, what do you really like here? Like, what do you think is the best and should get, if it's going to get worse, who should hold up the best? And if this is nonsense, where do you feel the most strongly about? And I feel pretty good about cybersecurity. I think you gotta spend more, not less. And these guys are gonna win. But you can pick your poison. You can say all the same things about Palo Alto, and I think that's fine. I don't think you go wrong with either one of these. But yeah, this one's been a good dip buy, so pretty happy with it. I think you're going back to the high, maybe even next week on Crowd at this rate.
Yeah, let's go CrowdStrike.
Pan W, probably just as good. I'm basically 50-50 in these two. Ish. Like, well, you know what? If I'd have to look at the relative, like if I should be 50-50 with the last buy, but then if Pan W's done better since that buy, then it's probably slightly more in Pan W. Instead of having an ETF, just own these two and you're good to go. Oh, we're not split adjusted. This is nice. They're both going to get to fresh highs. You're 10% away here in Pan W.
Yeah, 202, 220 high there. What a nice move Pan W's had from 144 and change.
Fortnite. Remember?
Yeah, FTFT.
Huge move.
Huge.
FTNT. Yeah. Huge move.
Yep, exactly. They helped spark that upside. And then I think it was, we talked about that SaaSmageddon. I think it was, we even had it on here. Remember the CrowdStrike CEO was like asking Claude if they could replicate it. So that felt like a little bit of a desperation play there, but good one.
Not as smart.
Good one nonetheless.
Not his best day.
All right, it's 11 o'clock. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody who's running the board there. Thank you, Randy, for bringing us about 1 million coffees. Really appreciate that. Good chicken quesadillas this morning. Hard to complain about that. We've had a lot of warnings in the chat to not eat tilapia, and don't worry, man, I'm off the tilapia. So I actually been excited.
No,
actually,
I did too.
I
pulled off it as well.
Yeah, smart, man.
So, yeah.
We'll see. There's the NASDAQ. We had that pull up 2% right now. We're still long the Qs, man. It's been an absolute banger of a trade right there. My number one P&L trade all month, which is not that bad. It's May the 8th. So, glad that you guys were able to hopefully participate in that. We wrote down $73 on the sticky note. It's now 75 there. So it's a nice little play there for the NASDAQ. High side. We'll see you back around 2 p.m.